Hey gamers, welcome back to a brand new DSP video. This is kind of a follow-up to what he did that other day where he had a rant about Clear Obscure and all this other bullshit. He kind of had another one going on. So let's just get right into it. Let's fucking go. I don't know why the previews. There we go. I don't want to look at the data. I don't want to get distracted by the data in this video, okay? No distractions.
Morning, everyone. Welcome to the final podcast of the week. That's right. This is the final level 1 podcast for the week because tomorrow I'll be playing Elden Ring, including a follow-up back and forth discussion about it today. All notable over the course, found funny or notable that you'd like to see of the week of the.
You like how, I mean, he changed the intro to the fucking, the song, and he said it's more his vibe, and he only says that because it's his vibe in the sense that, that it's the 1980s, like it's 80s music. Because DSP's personality is the 1980s, like, he wants to be 80s incarnate. It's really, really cringe. It's like if I was like, dude, the 90s! Dude, the 90s, guys! I was born in the 90s! 90s! Whoa! You would probably, like, want to rip my head off. But DSP is that with the 80s. Pretty cool, huh?
Well, I must say, the overall feedback this week has been the new intros.
Dude, I feel like if I go back and watch all his other podcasts, he gets out of the theme doing, yeah! Oh, because he definitely first unveiled it, and man, it's just not worth it. The music is just, oh, the game's about to begin! It's like, okay, like, you know, fuck it, let's go to his channel. Fuck it. DSP Gaming. Let's just listen to the fucking, this dumbass podcast music, so you guys know how bad it is. Man. Okay, we are gonna change the setting because this is. We'll do 480p. He doesn't deserve 720.
That's or episode of the week of the Level 1 podcast.
It's so generic, and again, this is more AI slop. It's just slop. It's just so generic. Like, dude, just pay someone to make you an intro. Like, it's so lame. And there's no, and the visuals doesn't even go with it. It doesn't even go. I feel like, whatever. Oh! I think the assumption is better. I'm gonna say it. That's all it is. The games are about to begin. Oh, 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 oh. It's so generic. It's painful. And then he's like, yeah, this is music. No, it's fucking awful.
Intro's a hit. People were kind of thrown for a loop when I started using the previous intro. I personally liked having these kind of soulful singers that kind of sounded like a 1980s throwback.
Yeah, of
course.
My
intro for many, many months.
This dude loves the 80s. He can't get out, and it's like, dude, it's so pathetic that this dude is like involved like this obsessed with the 80s. Like, he likes Grand Theft Auto Vice City because it's the 80s. He's disappointed that GTA 6 is like modern and not the 80s again. Like, this dude is Mr. 80s. That's all he wants to live in. And this is the guy that's like, tells us that we gotta live in the here and now and blah, blah, blah. but this dude is so like married to the 80s. Like he loves the 80s. And it's really only because, in my opinion, he was born in the 80s. So that's why he loves it. If he was born any other year, he'd love that year. But since he was born in the 80s, it's amazing. It's a godsend. It's a god tier year. Like, fuck off.
Many months, but everyone was like, hey, is that really your vibe?
And some people can argue that, like, I mean, you can jokingly say, oh yeah, the 90s is the best, man, or whatever, like, just jokingly. But DSP unironically thinks the 80s are amazing because he was probably born in the 80s, and that's why he loves it. Or he grew up in the 80s. He just loves the 80s. Everything about the 80s. If a president came around and said, I'm gonna make it so we're back in the 80s, DSP would, like, do backflips for him and like, suck his dick.
Vibe, Phil. I think this is a little bit more my vibe, and I really enjoy it. I hope that you guys are liking.
Yeah, it's his vibe, because literally, it's the 80s. He loves the 80s. If this was a 2020, like, rock song, he'd be like, that's not my vibe. 1990s, not my vibe. 1980s, that's my vibe. Because I grew up in the 80s. That's why it's so amazing.
The new intro. Anyway, welcome to the show. Today is Thursday, the 29th of May, 2025. I'm DSP. This is the Level 1 podcast here on DSP Gaming, and it is the final episode of the week. Tomorrow, I am streaming, but as I've been doing a few times over the last couple of weeks, I'm going to skip the podcast to get maximum gameplay in of Elden Ring Night Reign for its launch. For those who don't know, on PC, it launches tonight, which is weird because you'd be like, tonight? I thought it comes out tomorrow. Yeah, it launches at 3 p.m. Pacific time.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to do it as my late stream tonight, starting around 6:45 p.m. Pacific time and running till around 9:30ish. And then I'm going to do it again tomorrow. What we're going to do is the stream will start around 11:15. I'll jump on to hang out with you guys for a little bit around 11:30 so that we can time structure that and keep dropping in different, feel kind of like this vibe. I'm within that launch window, exposure to what's in, find out together. One big discussion that's going on this week regarding the lengthy playthroughs that I've been doing. In fact, someone leaving an incredibly lengthy comment on my YouTube.
By the way, he doesn't read the comment. He only focuses on the first part because he gets to drink himself off, and that's it. I don't think he really cares about the rest. So that guy wrote a novel, and for someone who could care less what he fucking wrote. I mean, I read it, and it was whatever. I mean, he could have gleaned something from it, but DSP's reading is not his strong suit. Like, I don't think he knows how to read. I mean, so I know people have argued about this and said, well, no, I just straight up think he doesn't know how to read. The politics channel, like, really sealed the deal for me that he doesn't know how to read. But whatever.
A video yesterday of this show actually left some interesting stats that I didn't even realize.
It's not that he doesn't know, like, it's not like he's struggling to read, like, oh, you're speaking. It's more that he doesn't understand, like, you know, really, he doesn't comprehend, like, the intent very well, or whatever. Like, he can't really, like, judge or comprehend what he read. Like, unless it's, like, for babies. Like, if you talk to him like a baby, he will literally understand you better than if you talk to him like he's an adult. Sometimes you have to forget that he's 40 years old and talk to him like he's 2.
So just listen to this. What were my 4 longest playthroughs in the last year? Number 1, by far, Fallout 4, the next gen run, which is when I played Fallout 4 last year when they had 32 minutes long and it lasted 90. Okay. What's my second longest playthrough? In Hawaii, which
like, the point that dude brought up those times was to, like, highlight, like, how he can better, like, schedule gameplay, how to better schedule and pace out what he was doing. Like, that's really all what he was doing that for. And DSP, instead of, like, understanding that, he's just, look at the lengths, man. Like, okay, but that's not really why he did that.
Which lasted 46 hours and 29 minutes, over the course of 31 parts, posted across 55 days. Really underestimating how long these playthroughs are. Are you ready for this? 9 parts for an hour long. 37 hours. But it actually is 5, so it doesn't feel like I've been playing it that long. Now, here's an even more interesting one. You ready? Expedition 33. Just listen.
I don't care about the stats. You've read
Again,
the stats.
I think what's happening is no one, including me, is realizing this because I'm making longer parts. Since I'm only doing 2 gameplay videos a day now of each of these longer playthroughs, it seems like I'm only putting out 2 hours, but I'm actually putting out 3 or more. And then you add.
What? No. No, that's not correct. That's incorrect. Let's see. Where's Clear Obscure? Oh, no. Yeah, he is. Dude, this is actually less output he has done in years. Actually, for reals. For realsies. Because let's, like, go back a while, right? Or let's not, and say we did. But it used to be 3 gameplay videos. Well, actually, it used to be 4. If you go even, like, a year ago, or maybe a year before that. It used to be 4. Then it became 3. And now it's 2. And the funniest thing I want to highlight about this, he did this seamlessly. Like, nobody even knew. Nobody notices. I don't think. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But I have not noticed that, like, oh, actually, Doom had a little bit more, but he didn't do the podcast for Doom, like, ever. But no, here is 3 gameplay parts. So I don't know. This dude is like gaslighting me. I feel because some days it's like he does 3 gameplay videos, and other days he does 2 on the day stream. Like, he's kind of changing how he does these little uploads, but that's kind of what he did. Like, he kind of does less like slowly. It's kind of like what happened when he used to not do breaks between the podcast or pre-stream and gameplay, and then that slowly crept back in, and he did it anyway, even though he said he wouldn't do that. Also, the same thing where he said, I'm starting earlier, and then, like, it would slowly creep back to a later time, which has happened yet again, where it's like, oh, 2:15, the podcast is starting. Now it's not 2:15. Like, did he even, like, notice that in the schedule now? No, not really, because it still says podcast at 2:15. That's not really true anymore. And, like, gameplays at 3:40, that's not true anymore either. Like, a lot of this stuff is not true anymore.
You add it together, like, what the? You're really that far in? Yeah, I've played that much of Clear Obscure, if you can believe it. Okay?
Okay.
So, now that we're talking about this, I mean, here's basically the schools of thought that have come out of this. If you don't know, if you didn't see yesterday's podcast, in a nutshell, I'm having difficulty figuring out how to tackle longer games because right now, with my formula and the way that I do things, I'm a variety streamer that juggles a bunch of games. At any given moment, I'm usually playing 1 or 2 major playthroughs. I'm usually doing 1 or 2 chill night streams. Sometimes I'm doing kind of an independent thing, an indie game or a horror game or something tossed in. And usually I have a multiplayer element as well, whether that's a fighting game or an FPS game. There's something in there that has multiplayer to it. Okay? Balancing all of
indie games are now just horror or chill games.
That's how I've actually been successful. I've said my formula and my situation is incredibly different from everyone else's. First of all, I've been around for 17 years as a YouTuber. Okay? Not many other people can say that. My formula works because I appeal to a wider variety of viewers than most other people. Most other people will find their niche, right? That one thing that they're really good at, and that's what they focus on. I'm the opposite. I'm the jack of all trades. When you come to my streams, you have no clue what I'm going to be doing.
No, that's incorrect. You know what he's doing. He has a schedule, and he, like, berates you about what he's doing. And then if you tell him to do something spur of the moment, he's like, I can't do that. If I did that, then people would be confused. So that's not really true. Like, at all. If he was, like, this is what I said for years. If he was truly a variety streamer, he'd be playing, like, a variety of games, but he plays like games you expected him to play. Like, oh, he's gonna play Elden Ring Night Rain, okay, or whatever he tells you he's gonna play. He tells you what he's gonna play and when he's gonna play it. Whatever.
One of many different things. Now, if you follow my schedule, you'll know when I'm doing the thing you want, and that's why at any given day you might see a completely different viewership. Right? One day I might be playing an RPG and you see one group. The next day I'm playing Street Fighter, you see another group. The next day I'm playing an FPS game and there's a third
I don't
group.
know.
There is definitely.
I kind of disagree with that. You know, maybe there might be some different people that come and go, sure, but I keep seeing the same kind of people sometimes. Like, I don't know. I don't really pay attention to his chat, to be fair. So maybe I'm not like a guy to look at, but I just feel like we just hear the same people's names when he talks to them. If I go into raw stream like this, I may see the same usernames or whatever. Like, I don't know. But you know, it's also funny. He says that we see a different group, but then it's a lot of sock accounts and this and that. Like, I don't know. Whatever.
Definitely carryover between the groups, but you'll notice different audiences. And that's why I kind of retain around the same viewership every day on stream, but the views on the on-demand videos could go like this. Depending on the game and the genre, the audience can grow or dip. I would argue that RPGs that are super lengthy don't get huge audiences, while more action-based games, more difficulty-based games, and newer AAA playthroughs do see a spike in viewership. So I am very different than most other creators. And when people say to me, well, I don't get it because other creators can do this and be successful, I say, yeah, but I'm not other creators. Do you get it?
Oh, wow.
Most other creators started way after.
He's so different, man.
Okay? They had track records of other people they could.
I hate this. They had track records. They had this. They didn't have people pave the way for them. And it's kind of like, I know what he means, and I get it, but he used that so much that it has no value. And I write it off immediately because he always uses it when he talks about, like, to defend his bad behavior. And I'm just like, dude, you needed people to tell you not to be an asshole? Like, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you at that point. Like, wow, if I call people doo-doo heads, they're not going to be happy? It's like, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you about that. Like, you know, there's all this other stuff, like, oh, I didn't know I shouldn't be talking about my full name or explaining my finances to people online. It's like, you needed someone to tell you that? Like, you know, there is, like, innocent situations where some people may want to convey, like, something that they think that's, like, not, like, super personal or whatever. Like, maybe they may want to vent about something and then someone may use that against them. Like, that's one thing. That's one thing. But DSP was doing stuff that, like, nobody would do, or that, like, people shouldn't do, or if people do, they usually are big enough where it's like they may not, like, you know, have much scrutiny about it, right? Or whatever. Like, you know, come on.
Could follow. They had outlines and blueprints and experience and things, and they did things away that already worked. That doesn't work for me. Things that work for other people will never work for me because.
But then why if that's the case, right? Then why does he try to do other things? And then when he does things that other people have done, and people say, "Oh, Phil, we don't like this. You're like everyone else." Like, so everyone else does this, and that's fine, but I do it. And it's wrong, huh? Like that. Like, I mean, come on.
Because number one, I am the most clipped person on the internet when it comes to.
That's actually not true. If you really want to talk about who's, like, the most documented person, it's Chris Chan. Like, Chris Chan is the champ of getting, like, the most documented things ever. Like, you could figure stuff out about Chris Chan way more than DSP. Like, it's crazy. Like, come on. The only thing that's documented on DSP, like, and I said this in the last video, DSP on one hand is kind of lucky that he's only documented on certain situations that could basically be explained away, and a lot of people give him the benefit of the doubt, to be honest. But there's other people that get clipped and it's, like, worse. Like, they may say something that is, like, that if you take it out of context, it's awful, and then when I actually listen to the context, it may not be that bad, but the damage has been done by the out of context clip that had actual ramifications. Meanwhile, DSP's like clips don't really do that. Like, there may be a few instances where that has happened to him, to be fair, but nowhere near as bad as other people. Just comparatively speaking. Come on. Come on, dog.
Oh, let's take every single thing Phil does and turn it into a negative thing out of context, okay? My actual uncut gameplay, on average, probably does anywhere from 300 to 500 views a video, these days. If it's a good...
Again, notice how we immediately left the comment. We didn't even read the rest of it. We just talked about the length of the playthroughs. Didn't comprehend the novel of what that person said about how about how he can better apply the length of time he plays these games and schedule the games or whatever. Instead, we just talked about the lengths of the game and how he's a different person than everyone else.
Good big playthrough, I could get 1,000 views a video. But the clips channels that take everything out of context and literally spin it negatively to lie and slander me get tens of thousands of views a video. So every day when I'm streaming and uploading, I'm literally competing with people who steal my content live.
This has nothing to do with the comment and the criticism or the feedback he's looking for. Again, we wanted to talk about what should we do about these lengthy games, and we are talking about clip channels. Like, I also want to highlight, he told us for years, I learned my lesson with this is how you don't play. I should have laughed with it and not against it. I should have went with it, man. My bad. And now he's getting clips where he shows him being a bad gamer, and instead of like laughing with him, be like, oh yeah, sometimes whatever, he is like fantasizing about being a litigious person, which again, this is another thing DSP has said he was against before, and suddenly he's now for. Suddenly he's fantasizing every day about being litigious. I thought you didn't want to take people down. Remember all these rants where DSP is like, I would never want to take down a troll channel. I understand it's like a hydra. If I did that, then there'd be 10 more. But now he's like, I would take him down if I was a millionaire. I would, man. I thought you didn't want to do that. I thought you were against that, Phil. I thought you weren't like these other people that did that and were litigious. And then he had rants where it's like, oh, so I sue them, and what do I get? Like $12 from a 12-year-old? And now he's like, I would if I could, man. Like I don't know what happened, and like I don't know. I would want to say that the Kyokusei gave him the ego to want to do this, but on the other hand, I feel like it was not even that. I think it was something else along the way that kind of made him be more litigious than ever before. Maybe it's what happens when people become billionaires. You have a small startup company, and they're like, and they want to be grassroots, they want to be a community, they want to be cool with everyone. And then the second they start getting recognized and they have a little bit of clout, they start thinking, maybe we should patent stuff. Maybe we should try to control what people do with our products a little bit more. Like, look at Hitbox. Now, of course, people can think whatever about Hitbox, but there was like a while that people were kind of like upset with this company because they wanted to like patent like a specific thing about their controllers. And I don't know what. I don't remember what it was. But I just remember a lot of people were just saying this is like a complete betrayal on the community that kind of made Hitbox where they were. And this is why I've seen people kind of go more towards like junk box or junk food, whatever the snack box, or other alternatives than Hitbox. So I get that, whatever. But that's beside the point. I'm getting a little derailed here. But maybe that's what's going on with DSP. He's perceiving himself as a little bit bigger than he was before, and he's starting to feel a little bit like a billionaire. Not really, because he can't do it, but he's having aspirations of being a billionaire. He's having aspirations of being the CEO that everyone hates and wish they would go away and never be seen again, and they should go back to being modest, and they should be bullied for life. Like that's the path DSP is leading towards.
And upload it before me, so people who want to see Darkside Phil see it from someone else first. There's no way for me to stop this process.
This is stuff that he also bitched about for years, but the thing is, it's like, these clips are like 1 minute, and again, he used to be upset mostly about when people were to re-upload the entire thing, which, you know, a lot of people could understand that, but now he's just getting mad at like a 1 minute clip, and someone saying, look at this doo-doo head. Like, this isn't the fight worth making, and you're not losing anything. If anything, again, he's learning nothing from the "this is how you don't play" thing. He should just roll with it and be like, and just hope that one day maybe a clip's gonna explode and people are gonna come in and watch, and they're gonna like turn, like, you know, this guy also has all these accounts allegedly saying, I used to watch you from the tractor channels, and you're pretty cool, Phil. I love you now. Why can't he assume that that's what's gonna happen with these clip channels? Like, people are gonna watch these clips and they're gonna watch him. And like, it's so sporadic and inconsistent, where he understands that happens, and then other days he says that doesn't happen. Then the other day it says it does happen. Like, it really is just whatever he wants to say at the given time. Like, there's really nothing to take serious from this guy, because he's not a serious person.
Besides becoming incredibly wealthy so I can hire a team of lawyers to sue those people into oblivion. Well, guess what? I'm not going to become incredibly wealthy, and I'm not going to be able to do that. So instead of saying, oh, Phil should just do what everyone else does, I think it's time for people to wake up and be realistic. I can't, because I'm not everyone else. I'm not in the situation of everyone else. It's complete mass theft, complete mass crimes being committed every day,
man.
And there's nothing I can do about it.
This dude also got upset, like, man, he got upset at so many other things about, like, clips being taken down in other ways, but now he's, like, all for taking down clips. Like, okay, man, sure.
Those channels were not allowed to exist.
And again, he's mostly upset at the gameplay clips. Like, you would think, right? Out of all the things that people clip him for, this is the one thing he'd be like, whatever, right? Remember it's one thing to make fun of how I play Doom, but it's another to say that cat is stupid. Fuck you! But now he's, like, really offended. Again, as I said, you can't take this guy seriously because it's never consistent. This dude will just say whatever one day and say the other thing the next day. Like, what's the saying? It's like, you don't know what the right hand or the left hand is doing. I don't fucking. The right hand is doing something else. You don't know what the left hand is doing. I don't know. That may not be applicable, to be honest. I think that works for something else. But you know what I mean. You don't know what this guy is gonna say tomorrow. It's such nonsense.
I would be getting all of that viewership. It may not be positive viewership, but I would still be getting those views. I would get more exposure in a more fair way. So it doesn't matter what everyone else does. They literally don't have an army, a community of business trolls who literally steal their content.
Oh my God. I just see, like, an office building, people in, like, work suits or whatever, just sitting and be like, guys, today we gotta troll Phil. Do that. Like, I just picture, like, a whole job. Like, people without W-2s. Yeah, I'm working with the Troll Inc. We're trolling Phil today.
And make money off of it every day. So when I hear things like, so-and-so can just play a game nonstop and not quit it for 2 weeks, why does it work for them and not for you? Because I'm Darkside Phil, one of the most fucked with people on the internet, and until you realize that, no.
But that doesn't make any sense. Like this actually doesn't make any sense. He has done this before. Baldur's Gate 3, anyone? And did the trolls fuck with him? Did the trolls, like, come to his house? Like, what happened? Because nothing happened. Nothing happened. he was able to play it and beat it. If anything, he was upset that people like didn't come back because they were bored with the game or whatever the fuck. But that had nothing to do with trolls. Is he gonna insinuate that people like who wanted to play Baldur's Gate 3 were trolls? I don't know. But what else? But yeah, what does this have to do with trolling? He's playing Expedition 33. That now the trolls are gonna get him. Like, what? I don't understand the correlation, buddy. Like, what are you talking about? So if you played, like, let's say you played his favorite game, Suikoden 2 every day, or he played Elden Ring every day. How are the trolls gonna fuck him? Like, I don't understand. What does the trolls fucking him have to do with playing a game more often? Like, this doesn't make any sense. It's really like there's part of the conversation we missed.
Nothing you say has any validity. Period. Okay?
like what does that mean?
So, like, basically, what I'm seeing...
Like, he talked about people clipping him. Okay, but they could clip him any other day. Like, people clip him anyway. What does that have to do with playing a game every day? Like, is he trying to say, and he didn't say it, like, is the context that he played Doom every day, or he played Doom a lot, and the playthrough didn't do so well because people clipped Doom, and people watched it, and then watched the clips, and didn't want to watch the game? But, I mean, the thing that I don't know how DSP doesn't get this, is that people would watch the clips, and say, oh, he's bad at Doom, I'm gonna watch the stream, and then they'd either be like, oh, he's actually not that bad, and then they move on with their lives, and they realize the clip is disingenuous, or they're like, oh, it was just that segment that he was bad in, or whatever, or that they'd like him. Like, why can't you assume that could be a pathway for that? He's so dedicated to the idea that, because, again, he thinks the viewers are dumb, sheep, and stupid, where they'll watch a clip, and they'll say, oh, he's bad at the game, this guy sucks, fuck him, I'm not watching him. And then that's it. Or they'll watch him and they say, oh, he's not that bad, this guy sucks, and then they leave, or whatever the fuck. But it's like, you can't really understand how people can really behave. Like, I mean, again, they're, like, people are very, like, abstract beings, man. It sounds like a fucking alien. But people may say that, and they may come around on something, or they may change their opinion, or they may think of something else. Like, you know, that's why you can't really predict the nature of how people act. And it's why it's, like, incredibly funny when this dude, like, is so confused when he doesn't hit his support stream. He doesn't hit his support goal or whatever, and he wants to find a hard reason when, quite simply, there may not be a tangible reason. Like, you don't know. Maybe you're not gonna like the answer. Like, you don't know. And he thinks that everything has a probable cause. Like, sure, but people are not machines. They're not, like, things that you can, like, kind of dissect and understand. And I don't know how he doesn't know that or understand that. Even though he claims to know that people are not black and white, yet he thinks in very absolute ways.
I'm seeing is a couple of different schools of thought. Some people are saying, dude, just skip all lengthy games, all right? Now, listen, I could do that. I could become a guy that sadly just doesn't play any more RPGs. Because RPGs are lengthy. I'll never get through one. I'll never play a visual novel.
He hasn't played visual novels. He doesn't want to play them. He has banned JRPGs completely, basically. The only RPGs he wants to play are, like, Bethesda RPGs, which, I mean, I'm a Bethesda hater when it comes to RPGs, to be fair. So I think they're all boring. Fallout might be the only one that I'm, like, kind of whatever on, because I kind of like the setting, but I'm not, like, in love with Fallout. But every time I see Elder Scrolls, it's bedtime for me. But the only Bethesda game I care about is stuff that's made by id Software, like fucking Doom. But okay.
I'll never play any game that's like longer than 20 hours. Because anything that's longer than 20 hours is going to take me over a month to beat. Get it? Doom was the exception, because with Doom the Dark Ages, I literally made my schedule play it every day so we could beat it just a little.
I thought you can't do that. The trolls. He just said that the trolls would fuck him if he played a game every day. Now he's saying he played the game every day. What?
For a week. And that one I think did fine for what it was, but you notice that when I played Doom, I wasn't playing a lot of any of the other games that I was playing. Clear Obscure, Blueprints, they all took a back seat. You see what I'm saying? So...
Okay, so... Again... See, I'm so glad I stuck with the confusion with the fucking... I can't play a game every day. The trolls! That just seemed like he forgot what he was talking about, or he just kind of just blurted it out and not really comprehended what he said. It's very clear that DSP is a speak first, think later kind of guy. Like, he'll just say things and not think about what he just said or have any, like, idea of what to talk about. Again, we went from bring up that long, lengthy comment to only talk about the first half, not even the first half, like, less than that, of just the length of time the games were, and that's it. We did not talk about anything else that was said, and it wasn't even negative. Like, people can say that maybe it was a trolling thing, like sure, but it's still, you know, not negative, like, feedback. Like, it's not even feedback he could interpret as negative. Like, you can't. The criticism about, like, when Kat was, like, doing co-op streams, I could only see why DSP took it critically, because you would like, it's a very easy thing to spin negatively. Like, oh, you guys should talk more. Oh, you want me to force it to talk? But, like, the comment that was made for him was very, like, again, I read that thinking that this dude must have some experience talking to children. Like, it's written in such a specific way for a child to, like, want to read it and be like, okay, and not, like, get mad. Like, that's what it read to me. It's like, yeah, this guy must have some level of experience of, like, talking to a kid.
The way I see it is, do I skip all RPGs and all lengthy games? Because they're going to take too long and you lose the audience over time. Okay? Another school of thought is this. When you play a lengthy playthrough, a game that you know has a ton of content, okay? Try to focus on the story. And that's a big departure. That's a big departure for me. Because remember, I used to do that ages ago when I was a YouTuber that was just on demand, okay? Sadly, what was I going to say?
Now, this is kind of paraphrasing what he said, but I think the comment kind of mentioned what I said, where he should do the side missions and then notice if the chat is starting to get bored to then just do the main missions. Like, and instead he, like, kind of allocates, like, specific time to do things, and it's kind of like mundane and routine. The moment you start feeling that's when you lose.
I'm gonna say, sadly, with that, I got distracted by someone in the chat. I'm sorry. What was I saying? I got distracted by you guys in chat, and I lost my train of thought completely. I got to get back on track. What was I saying? Just quit all games and stare directly at the camera for 8 hours a day? Well, that's interesting.
Oh, man. Okay, great. I mean, he kind of does that, if you think about it. Like, I mean, look at this. Look at this. We're doing a podcast, and he's just staring at chat.
What I could do is go back to who I was as an old YouTuber. Who was I as an old YouTuber? Well, before I even live streamed, I just made on-demand videos, and here was my objective. Buy a game, play it as quickly as humanly possible. Doesn't matter how much content I cover, how many missions I do. All I'm trying to do is beat the game as quickly as I can. And once it's done, review it, package it up, return it to GameStop to get my money back.
Package it up.
Not really return. What it was the trading system back then. If you traded in multiple games.
I like it says package it up like it's like a factory setting. You're just taking the game in and trading it in. Like, that's all it is. This dude is something else.
Like a giant boost, okay? And then on to the next game. Back in the day, I was known as the gaming YouTuber who went through.
And look at, and you know what's so funny? Him doing that, it's in ways that come to bit him in the ass, and he didn't really like think about it, right? He had to rebuy Bloodborne, because he bought the game and then he traded it in, and then he's like, I want to replay it. I gotta buy it again.
Through games so quickly that within 1 or 2 days of release, you could watch my whole playthrough, enjoy the game, know if you liked it or not, and buy it for yourself if you liked it or skip it if you didn't. I was used as the guideline of should you buy a game or not. That was
No,
the
he
purpose
wasn't.
of DSP gaming back in the day.
Incorrect. Not true.
But over time, that changed. People told me they didn't want that anymore. That making playthroughs that are rushed and only focusing on story, sadly, skips most of the meaningful content of the game. How can you truly judge a game if it's good or not if you skipped all the side missions and all the challenging content and only streamlined the story? So people told me, Phil, you're a dinosaur. Phil, your model's outdated. You need to change and update with the times. Everyone today is becoming interactive. Everyone does the side content, talks with their audience.
Man.
You got to change.
But he doesn't do that. He doesn't do that. Like, I showed you the fucking Clear Obscure gameplay. He just sat there and was like, yeah, we're going over here. Okay. Where do I go? Okay, we're gonna go over there. Okay. I should do that. Okay. That's it. That's what he does.
So I did. In the last 10 years, I completely changed my model.
When people said that, they were just like, just talk. Like, why don't you just read chat, talk about whatever? Like, your chat could be talking about baseball. And they could say, oh, baseball. Oh, you're doing that? Oh, man. Like, I wonder how this team is doing. Whatever. Like, I remember there was like a mini meltdown he had during Dragon Quest Builders, where people in the chat were asking him, why don't you ask us questions? Like, I don't ask the fight on the street. What do you mean? I ask you questions? No, you ask me questions. And it's like, do you know how a conversation works? Like, he just wants his chat to ask him so he can talk to them. He just wants to not talk to them. He wants to talk at them. And he tries saying that, like, they have a meaningful conversation when they really don't. And sure, like, you know, because he was asking about, like, doing IRL meetup, and he's like, well, we do that here. No, you don't. I mean, you don't have anything. You can't really get meaningful conversation in chat, to be fair. You know, but you can at least have a conversation. But he doesn't really, like, do that. And it's kind of, like, insane.
Model to now be interactive, side content, shout outs, talking, everything like that. And now the games take a hell of a lot longer to beat. Now everyone says you take too long. Your playthroughs are boring because you're doing too much side content. You're over leveled for the main story. So the truth is, the feedback I've gotten.
But you know, if you think about it, because he said during the Bloodborne stuff, and even in the past, he said he would when he was not making video content, he'd just grind. Like, that's why in some playthroughs he'd be over leveled in between parts or whatever, like in Bloodborne. And I'm just sitting there thinking, like, he's doing the stuff he'd do off screen on stream. That's all this is. And he's hiding under the guise of, well, I am a streamer now, guys, and we're doing it to chill. And I kind of feel he'd always grind anyway. He'd grind anyway. Get out of here.
Led me to where I am today, and now no one likes where I am today. I could have stayed who I was, and then I would have been told, you're a dinosaur, you didn't roll with the times and change. And then if I change, you're also wrong. So that's the difference between who I was, and then I would have been told, you're a dinosaur, you didn't roll with. The feedback I've gotten led me to where I am today, and now no one likes where I am today. I could have stayed who I was, and then I would have been told, you're a dinosaur, you didn't roll with the times and change.
But he's still a dinosaur because he's refusing to change. He made this change, like what, back in 2015? I'll say 2015, fuck it. He made this change like 2015, 2016. And then the streamer thing, 2017. Like, that's when he changed. It's 2025, and he thinks that nothing changes again. He changed. He doesn't need to change again, man. Okay.
And then if I change, you're also wrong. So that's the difference between
Again, and, you know, then he says, "Oh, I did change, then I'm wrong." I mean, you can change and people may not like the change. And then you could change again and find a change that works. Like, half the time of like if you really are passionate about what you're doing, like shouldn't you like kind of know what you want to do? Like this is a long running criticism I have with him where it's like he doesn't know what he wants to do. He runs his business and he has no vision on what he wants to accomplish with his streams. Even though he claims that he wants to make an interactive chill stream, but these are very abstract things. Anything can be a chill stream if you like want it to be. Like I can argue that Guilty Gear could be a chill stream because I can like just play the game and then like in between sets I can like talk about it. Or if I'm like, you know, don't care about winning, I could talk during the game. Like whatever, right? Whatever.
Darkside Phil, DSP Gaming, and other content creators. Right now, if I listened to the feedback, oh, you should just play the same game nonstop and beat it within a week, I would get nonstop feedback. What are you doing? This game sucks.
He did that with Doom. He did that with Doom. He did that with Baldur's Gate 3. I mean, but he blamed Baldur's Gate 3 on it being an RPG or whatever the fuck. But like he could do that. He's done that before actually. Red Dead Redemption 2 had a whole week. He played that for a whole last week. And he's saying this now. It's easier to say this now because there's no massive game that's coming out that he'd want to. But GTA 6, I guarantee he's gonna play that for a week. I guarantee.
This game's boring. You're killing your business. You're killing your streams. We're not gonna come by till you're done.
Now, this is the other thing. This statement, he said this himself. That was his go-to thing he said back when he played Baldur's Gate 3 and he said, "This is why I don't do this for a week, guys. You see, it ruined my business." Nobody in chat said that. If anything, he was arguing with his own chat about that because his chat was like, "But Phil, you got tips every day." And again, this is the funniest thing about this. Baldur's Gate 3 was during the time where he didn't count the tips. He did not count everything in the tips total. It was just a tips total. And then he would have a little segment saying, "Tip now. I prefer tips. I get that immediately." He plays Baldur's Gate 3, and he got tipped every day playing that game. Now, of course, he said, "Well, it's about everything, this and that." Which, again, it's a sneaky way. Loki want everyone to contribute in everything. Which is why, like, it was actually a good idea to have the King Sax include everything because it actually gave motivation to do everything. But he was arguing with his own chat, saying it wasn't successful when it was.
We're done with this game. So for 2 weeks, I'd see no one on stream and everyone would bitch.
And the thing is, now people probably would because guess what? He's making statements like this. Again, DSP has no concept of why it's not a good optic to stomp your feet on things and say definitive statements to then go back on it because then people are going to say, "Wait, Phil, you said this. Oh my god, I can't believe you're doing this." Because then guess what? He's going to say, see, people are saying this. Yeah, because you're saying this kind of stuff. Like, because imagine, what would happen if he was back to Twitch? And let's say that Twitch gives him back his partner status and Kick, like, either reduces his payment a lot or decides that this guy does not deserve to be partner anymore. Right? Let's pretend that. Let's pretend that Kick decides, yeah, Phil is a scammer, fuck him. And they remove his monetization. And Twitch gives him his monetization back. Guess where DSP's gonna go? Back to Twitch. If neither site is gonna give him monetization, he may stick with Kick, just out of sheer laziness, because he's already doing the co-streaming, and maybe he'll go back to YouTube. Only when he starts saying Kick is fan service. That's kind of when you know Kick is over. But he's getting like pennies, and he'll keep those pennies coming. If he can make pennies, he'll keep that penny train coming, baby.
I'm not dumb. I know that no matter what I do, it's not good enough for the peanut gallery on the internet because I've been doing this for 17 years.
It's not
I've
good.
changed tons.
every time I think of him saying it's not good enough or whatever, he goes on these little rants. I think of that scene in Ava Rebuild 3.0 where Shinji's like walking around just like in despair because he realized Ray isn't Ray, and he's hearing like all these voices like, "Don't pilot Eva, don't do anything, don't do anything," and I just picture, "You're not good enough, you're not good enough," and then Phil's like,
tons of times, and it's still never good enough. So that's why, again, I don't
You're not good enough.
I'm like, I'm not going to listen to this bullshit of people demanding things that I know won't work because I've already changed, right? So here's the truth, is I don't think that there is a simple solution to anything. But when it comes to particular playthroughs, we may have to make decisions. For example, as of today, I'm making the decision, we're going to try to get through the story of Claire Obscure. All right? At this point, even though it's going to be insanely tempting to do the side content, because we've passed by a lot of it, we see it, we're like, man, I wish I could do it. You know, it's going to unlock.
His hands on his head.
I think we're just going to have to focus on the story. Let's get to nearly the end. And then before we beat the game, decide, do we want to go back and do it or not, depending on how many people are showing up, how many people are engaging, and how many people are supporting. If sadly, we get to this end of the game and no one cares, then I guess we're done with the game. And that sucks because I want to keep playing. I want you guys to understand I love this game and I want to get as much out of it as I can because I'm having such a good time. But that doesn't necessarily translate into what viewers want and what's good for business. And this is a problem. People say things like, Phil, you should just do what you want to do. You should just do what you enjoy and do what you love, and that passion will come through and you'll be successful. That's not always the case. Not always.
Wait, what?
People say to me to do, you should just do what you enjoy and do what you love, and that passion will come through and you'll be successful.
This dude gives everyone that advice, by the way. Literally, hey Phil, I want to be a streamer. What would you recommend me do? Okay, so instead of doing what everyone else is doing, you should do what you're passionate about, and the money will come. And on top of that, he also said that was his core belief. Oh my god, dude! This is, oh man, I stumbled on another thing that he went back on. Why is he like this? He says that, you know me, guys. My belief is that I am passionate, and then the support will come. That we're all gonna like what you do. You want to support it. That's what he always says, and now he says that they said that to him, and that may not be like. Listen to this.
And this is a problem. People say things like, Phil, you should just do what you want to do. You should just do what you enjoy and do what you love, and that passion will come through and you'll be successful. That's not always the case.
Like, he says it all the time, mostly when he has a good week, basically, and he's like very happy with the money he's getting. And then the moment that he starts getting slow streams, he goes back to saying, well, this is a business.
Not always. People say to me these days, why do you keep playing Yakuza games? Don't you know they don't do well? Well, because I like them. So I still play them. Oh, well, that's a horrible decision. Then on the flip side, I get yelled at. Why aren't you playing?
Again, he literally was like, should I skip Pirates Yakuza? Should I skip that? And it's like, okay, yeah. His entire chat was like agreeing with him, saying, yeah, skip it. And then he played it anyway because he was terrified to skip it.
Playing things you like. Like, wait, what? So that's what I mean. There is no solution with me because the position.
It's also funny. He sits there and tells us that he liked Metaphor, and then he won't play it. He liked Yakuza, but people told him to skip it. He plays Yakuza. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, he will brute force some games, but he won't brute force others. And it's like, I mean, what are we doing here?
I've been put into is one of, no matter what I do, I'm wrong. The internet has actually been programmed to believe that. Right now, the internet actually thinks I'm terrible at fighting games. I was terrible at Doom the Dark Ages. I'm terrible at every...
He is. Like, people can say that you're bad at any video game, and at the end of the day, like, who cares? Like, I'm sure I suck at Doom, but am I gonna care what you guys think of how I play Doom? Like, no. Like, people probably think I suck at Metaphor because I was under-leveled, I didn't, like, grind efficiently. like, okay, yeah, I suck at the game, but I still like the game. Am I gonna cry myself to sleep about it? Like, why does it matter so much? Why does he care so much what other people think about how he plays games? Like, he says that, like, he doesn't care about people make fun of him. It's one thing to make fun of his video games, but it's another to make fun of his family. But then he does this kind of shit. I don't get it. Like, at some point, you're gonna have to, like, either, like, the thing that he says it's like harassment or cyberbullying about him playing games. It's silly. It's clown mode because there are better arguments about being cyberbullied or being harassed online. Like, there are better arguments to make about that, but it's never stuff that or a lot of the stuff that DSP talks about. Like, there's things that if you really wanted to, you could find stuff that DSP is truly a victim of, but a lot of things like making fun of his gameplay is not one of them. Like, he shouldn't care about people think he's bad at games. Like, who cares that people think he sucks at fighting games? Like, why is this such a big deal to him? Okay, well, they think he's suck at fighting games, so whippy. Like, why care?
Every FromSoft game, I'm terrible at everything I do because that's what they're told through illegal clips channels. And that's all that they see because that's what YouTube pushes to the forefront of the algorithm. So when you say, do what this other successful person does, do what this person does, doesn't work for me. I could literally emulate the most popular streamers on the planet. No one would give a shit because I'm Darkside Phil and I'm not in that position. I can't copy anyone else. I'm a unique dude. That's why I've been here 17 years and I'm still here and I'm still successful. But it also means I can't follow the trends and I can't do what everyone else does. It doesn't work for me. Okay? Okay. I appreciate you saying that, Gars, because some people sometimes are very nice. Like Gar says, no, you are still decent in Street Fighter 6. And other people are like, well, no, you're not that bad at this. No, I know.
Yeah,
but that's the point I'm making. No one believes it, though. Like, everyone knows if you actually watch me play fighting games, I'm pretty good at fighting games, right? Everyone can agree there. If you've watched me play fighting
games. You guys agree with me. I'm good at Guilty Gear. You guys know I am. You guys know I'm a pro at it. I don't think I'm top 500 Jack on rating update anymore. So that's not true anymore. But I could if I wanted to.
Games instead of just watching the clips channels. You know, Phil's actually pretty good at fighters, has insight into them, has good knowledge of them, and should be listened to when it comes to fighters because he knows what he's talking about. But most people don't know that because they don't watch my content.
He never learned. He doesn't want to learn how to do the matchup against Cammy. He doesn't want to learn that matchup at all. He doesn't want to learn. He mocks people for learning the game. Like, he mocked people for playing training mode in Street Fighter 6, and then also mocks them if they dare to share the combo. Why is that? Like, dude, come on.
My content, get it? They watch other people's clips channels. So there you go. Same thing with Doom. I was not bad at Doom the Dark Ages. I wasn't great, but I wasn't terrible at all. Watch the playthrough. Very few times did I even have difficulty. Maybe 2 challenge rooms really pissed me off. Outside of that, I cruised through the game on the harder difficulty. Wasn't a problem. Anyway, so here's what we're going to do. Today, starting today on this stream, we are going to just go through story content. I'm actually leaving wherever I am because I know I was in the middle. I think we just finished a side content dungeon. We're leaving that, and we're heading straight to the story. So we're going to go right to there's 2 story parts to do that are available. You pick, I'll just pick one. We'll do it. We'll pick the other. We'll do it. And I believe that when you beat both of those, you actually end Act 2. Then we'll be in Act 3. We'll continue the story. We'll keep going until we get to the point of no return. And when we hit that point, then we'll decide, how is the playthrough done? Has things gone well? Are people showing up, engaging, and supporting, right? And then if they are, then we'll spend more time and we'll go back and we'll do all the side content that unlocked that's challenging and fun to do. But if the playthrough's dead, then it's dead. And we just finished the story and we're done. We've already played 47 hours of Clair Obscur in a month. Well, I've loved every moment.
I don't know what else to say. I was thinking of another thing, but look at this. I'm gonna show you the doodle. Let's show the doodle. The Doodle Side Phil. That's what I'm gonna call it, Doodle Side Phil. So as you can see, he's like, there's a lot of you're not good enough, you're not good enough, you're wrong, low support, you're not good enough, no burger, apologize. But I was thinking like, because there's another word that triggers him, but I can't think of it. I can't think of another thing. And it's like, you're not good enough, you're wrong. Whatever. You're doing it wrong. I mean, that's one, but that's basically you're wrong. That's basically you're wrong. Okay, anyways. Hope you liked today's Dark Side, Doodle Side Phil. There you go.
Moment. It's definitely going to be one of my Game of the Year contenders. It's sad that sadly people won't allow me to play it at my own pace and enjoy it. But what can I say?
What can I say? What can I do?
And you have people who say, oh, well, it's because of this. You should have played it at a harder difficulty. You should have done this. You should have done that. Please bite me.
Bite me.
There's always an excuse why DSP isn't good enough. It doesn't matter what difficulty I play a game. You should have played me to play it at my own pace and enjoy it. It's definitely going to be one of my Game of the Year contenders. It's sad that sadly people won't allow me to play it at my own pace and enjoy it.
But he just told us that when, like, it's not his own pace. If you think about what he was telling you, he said that he decided to do all the side content because other people told him to. So that's not his own pace. He did that because other people told him to. Like, what? Like, see, this is like another thing that is very easy to accuse DSP of being a fake gamer, because DSP makes it really easy. Like, you don't really have to try to make the argument, because very simply put, if you're playing a video game, like, and you're streaming it, sure, like, you understand that maybe someone in chat would want to see the story, but if you're playing at your own pace, you can do that, and then at the same time, look at chat and seeing that if there's enough people who are, like, saying, like, that maybe asking to see the main story, you may say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna do the main story right now. Fuck it. Like, I'm gonna show you guys the main story, or whatever. But he doesn't do that, and he did that because he thought that he had to do the side missions. Like, people were telling him not to do the secret stuff in Doom, and he said, well, it's in the game. You're telling me not to play the game, but the side stuff is put there for replayability. Like, it's like, yeah, you don't have to do this all in one go. You can beat the game and then go back and then do the stuff that you didn't do before. Like, that's why, like, they structure like an arcadey game where you could pick the fucking chapter you're doing, and it gives you the percentage and all this other stuff. Like, they do this intentionally so you don't have to do it on your first run. And it's funny that, like, this is the guy that also replays some games, but then he'll just do this and then he'll do it to brag or say, oh, see, I did everything. See, I like the game. But if you like the game, then do you really have to do 100% to say that? Like, it's really funny that it's either one or the other. Like, you don't, like, it's so beholden to playing a game, thinking about what other people think about it, and not your own personal enjoyment. And then he's claiming that he did this because of his own personal enjoyment. Did he, though? He just told us that he started to do side content on stream to chill with his audience because people told him to. Like, that's not very, like, you didn't choose that then.
But what can I say, right? And you have people who say, oh, well, it's because of this. You should have played it at a harder difficulty. You should have done this. You should have done that. Please bite me. There's always an excuse why DSP...
I just love, he asks people, why do you guys all like lengthy games? And then people tell him this, and then he writes them off as bullshit. Like, how do you know? Because you don't like the answer? Like, if you're not gonna like the answer, then don't ask. I don't know. Like, you don't have to... I mean, he doesn't even have to, like, acknowledge it. Right? If he thinks that these are trolling things, then why even bring it up? But it just taints the well, I guess.
DSP isn't good enough. It doesn't matter what difficulty I play a game at. Look what happened with Doom. I played it on the harder difficulty. Phil, you still suck. So fuck off. No one cares.
But I love that like the whole point of like playing a FromSoft game, he says that it's fun to see him overcome a challenge, and then people can apply that same logic with honestly any game. You can apply that logic with anything that's a video game. Anything you pop into a console, you can apply that same logic. Where yeah, I want to see you overcome a hurdle. Play on super duper hard extreme. Play on European extreme in MGS3. Why want to see you overcome a challenge? And it's like, sure, some games you may not want to do that, but like, maybe fun to try, right?
Really, no one cares about every little silly, stupid gripe you have about Darkside Phil. You all don't matter. What matters is those who actually show up and engage and support with my raw content here on the channel. Not the clips, not the consensus of me on the internet. All of that is white noise that doesn't matter. So that's what a lot of people don't seem to understand.
So then why does he want to be litigious against these clip channels? Like, why? Why go after clip channels then?
It doesn't matter about anything outside of what's broadcast or uploaded to this channel. None of it matters to me. It doesn't affect me in the least, positively or negatively. I just need to find enough people to come for the core content to watch and engage and support it. And then I'm good, right? And that's why a lot of these streams are doing well. And I'm happy for that. But it does upset me when I'm genuinely enjoying a game and having a great time with it, and it's not resonating with the audience for some reason. Okay?
What's that reason? Let's figure it out.
And that's what's happening right now
analytical.
with Claire Obscure. When we played it 2 days ago, everyone quit the stream. We had less than 150 viewers on YouTube. And I only made $37 of support for a over 4-hour gameplay segment.
Okay.
That's terrible. Okay? Right. Straight up. That's terrible.
Straight up.
That's terrible. Okay? Straight up. That's terrible. That's one of the worst streams I've ever done.
Did he say it twice or did he?
Oh and my God. And it really sucks. And there's
oh my God, what is
nothing I can do about that. I can't make people enjoy the game as much as I am.
That was weird.
So all I can do now is say, all right, fine. We're just going to streamline it. We're just going to go through the story and we'll see what happens. And nothing I can do about that. I
want to see if it...
I only made $37 of support for a over 4-hour gameplay segment.
Up?
That's terrible. Okay? Straight up. That's terrible. That's terrible.
Okay.
Okay? Straight up.
YouTube
that's terrible. Up. That's one of the worst streams I've ever done. And it really sucks. And there's nothing I can do about that. I can't make people enjoy the game as much as I am. So all I can do now is say, all right, fine. We're just going to streamline it. We're just going to go through the story. And we'll see what happens and go from there.
Come on.
Now, I want to make this abundantly clear. If people show up, engage, and support for Claire Obscure in the story we're about to do, and they support it, I will play it longer. I will do the side content, which I want to do. I want to be challenged.
I love that he's like, if they support, I will do the thing that, like, it's kind of funny, right? He blames doing the side content, and people didn't want to see it. They want to see the main mission, the main stuff, so they don't support. So he's doing this in hopes that people are going to support and glue in. And then he tells them, well, if you guys support because I'm doing the thing you want me to do, I'll do the thing you don't want me to do again. Like, again, I love it's either or. It can't ever just be, why not just do main missions, then do a side mission, and then do that, and then if people start saying, can you do something else, you do the main mission, right? Or you start to read the room a little bit, or think, well, I think I'm just going to do the main mission right now. Like, if he wants to be immersed in the story, then wouldn't you want to, like, kind of see where the story goes sometimes? Like, it just seems kind of ridiculous that he's spending so much time on the side mission. Like, does he even care about the main mission? I don't know. Like, whatever.
I want to have to parry. I want to have to do all this stuff and not just steamroll through a game. But I got to have people buy into it. I can't just be doing it for myself. You know what I mean? So let's see how it goes starting today. How will this stream go? We're about to find out. Okay? Shout out to Soul Potato 07, who's been a member for 24 months. He says, how are you?
24 months!
I'm personally good. I'm actually in a pretty good mood. I'm excited because I get to play Claire Obscure. We're going to try Night Rain tonight. The next few weeks are going to be insane. We've got the launch of the Switch 2, updates in Street Fighter 6, Summer Game Fest.
I'm going to say this. After this podcast, I was thinking, I kind of came around to kind of thinking it might be the Switch 2, the marathon that he hasn't done. that has never done before, or whatever the fuck he hyped it up as. And I mean, I still kind of think that it may not be the Switch 2 for multiple reasons. I mean, on one hand, he did say that he'd want to do this event anyway, regardless if he hits the goal or not. I think he said that. Maybe not. Whatever. But he also wants to tie it perfectly for next week as well, which is also sus. But also, yet again, I'm just gonna say it. He has done that for everything. Like, it's not really. It's not a smoking gun to me because he did that with the last marathon. Oh, I really want to hit this goal at this point in time. And this time, we gotta do it at this day, guys. We gotta do it this day, guys. We have this many days to hit the goal, and this, and like, he kind of, like, always has a deadline for these goals anyway, so that's why I'm not, like, super into this theory that's the Switch 2. I'm cautiously putting my toe in that theory. But it does fit the semantic nature of Phil. Because he could simply argue, see, it's a marathon of Switch 2. I never did a unboxing marathon before. So I could see that. I was thinking about that a little bit too. But we'll see, because he's going to say it today, ACA Friday, as I'm recording this.
Xbox Gaming Showcase. Other things are rumored to happen right around there. So you're going to have shadow drops and special games being released. Then we've got Mind's Eye, Death Stranding 2.
I don't understand.
Like, June is
why are people shitting on Mind's Eye? Like, I don't understand, right? I just start seeing all this pushback on Twitter randomly, like, oh, this game is dumb. Oh, yeah, they think that I'm being paid by Rockstar to shit on this game. Well, it's an easy paycheck because the game sucks, or whatever. And I don't know why. Like, is there something I missed? Like, is the game running at 2 frames per second and they think that's good or something? Like, what happened? What is Mind's Eye? What's the controversy with Mind's Eye? Like, it just seems so random. Because the first thing I saw of it was literally just that article. Yeah, the Mind's Eye devs think that people are shitting on it because they're paid by Rockstar. And I'm like, huh? What? I didn't even know this game was coming out. Like, DSP was the first one I heard talk about this game. Which was like, okay, I mean, DSP talks about a lot of random games sometimes. And then I started seeing this on my feed. Like, what is, like, I don't know. Like, what's the deal? What's the deal with Mind's Eye?
Insane. June will be absolutely packed with content for gaming. So I am 100% excited. All right? Okay.
Thumbs up.
Let's get to some other shout-outs. Let's see here. So I got a $2 tip. This person says, I feel you. The audience going back and forth can lead to frustration.
Again, we have completely abandoned the comment. The entire comment that was written painstakingly, all gone to the wind.
You don't always get the results that you want. Have you considered taking charge, making decisions without the audience, and using analytics to course correct? It's famously said the audience doesn't really know what they want until they are led to it. Be bold, I believe. That's again.
I love. Just remember the key word: analytics. Use analytics to judge what you want to do. That's what he told DSP, and this is how DSP took it.
And that's old Phil. That's old DSP. That was me saying, I'm playing this because I want to, and you'll like it.
You notice, this is kind of a self-report, if anything, right? Because it kind of tells you, really matter of fact, that anytime he has a decision where he says, I did this, and I did research, or whatever the fuck, whatever, like, excuse he says, it low-key just means he wants to do it, and that's what he's doing. Because that's how he viewed this. The dude said he used analytics, which means, like, he can look at, like, viewership, see what games that have pulled in the most views, and this and that, or see what people are engaged with and do that. Or test stuff out, or whatever. But instead, he takes that as saying, well, I did that because I did whatever the fuck I want, but that's not what you did back then. Oh my god, who's calling? Oh, not available! Fucking, talk to my voicemail. Bitch!
And if you don't, you're wrong, because I'm the one who knows better, because I'm the successful YouTuber, and you're not.
But that's not using analytics. That's just he being an asshole. I know what I'm doing! And guess what? He does this even today. Like, this isn't even old Phil. This is modern Phil. Like, all he has done now is just been more open to, like, it is so manipulative how what he does now. He's more manipulative than ever before. This dude is a manipulator.
So watch my content or don't, but I'm the one in charge. That used to be my old.
But that's what he does now. This is a variety stream. I know what I'm doing. If you don't like what I'm playing, come back tomorrow when I'm playing something else.
Attitude. Back in the day. Then people yelled at me and said, Phil, don't you understand? That's the opposite mentality that you should have. You are
But the dude said use analytics. Again, this is like you're see what I mean? That DSP has a hard time reading. Like, and it's not like, oh, he doesn't know what words are necessarily. He just doesn't understand the meaning of words. Because he just reads that and just thinks, oh, I did stuff based on my own will, what I wanted to do. But he doesn't understand like the meaning of what he meant by analytics and like judging what people want. But I mean, even then, you could even argue that you wouldn't even know what people want even through analytics. Like, it's not that clear cut. There's no clear answer. And this is the fundamental problem that DSP keeps running into, is that he wants a silver bullet. He wants a magic answer to solve all these issues. But you're just not gonna get it, man. Sometimes you're just gonna have to eat it.
Supposed to be listening to your audience. You're supposed to be taking in feedback. You're supposed to be changing with that feedback, doing what people want. You are a content creator that provides free content, and you're expecting people to watch ads.
Reading feedback, like, this is the other thing. He tends to read a lot of feedback and not really like think about the feedback he's getting. Like, it's like, okay, Phil, you should drink some beverages. And then DSP's like, okay, I'm gonna drink bleach. And it's like, no, like, drink water or something, man. But it's like, well, bleach is a liquid. I could put that in a cup, and I could drink it. Like, it's kind of that, like, not, like, level 1 thinking. Like, you tell him to do something, and he'll either do it in the most, like, bland, plain, straightforward way, or just take it, right? He doesn't think, what would work? Like, which part of this feedback can work? What feedback doesn't work? Like, not all feedback is good feedback. And he has kind of shot down a lot of feedback, but he doesn't think about it. Like, he shoots down any critical feedback that is like, you know, like with the suggestion box, where they were saying like, oh, you should like find a game and be more like communicate more with Kat, and you should like kind of like have more chemistry or whatever that the criticism was. And he took that as them telling him that they should be fake to each other and be smiling all the time. Like, that's not what was being said. You watch the gameplay. Like, he should have read that and then watched it and see maybe it would make sense if you watched the co-op. Because all it was just DSP telling Kat what to do and then just being like, yeah, let's get good ratings. Like, he hyped these co-op streams with Dodoko Island as they're gonna build an island together. And there was nothing personal about building the island. It was straight up, how can we get the best rating? And it was just kind of a cold, like, I just want to get the rewards. And that's it. It was really like he saw Kat play it, knew that she was good at it, and said, Kat, I don't want to do this. Can you do it? Okay. And that was the stream. Like, it didn't even seem like it was something that they wanted to do together for fun. Like, why else did they only show up for that game and no other game? Like, you notice that he immediately, like, Beyond Two Souls got shot down immediately. He didn't even want to do co-op mode. He wanted to pass the controller and have her play the Elise gameplay segments. And it's like, you're reading the criticism and you're assuming in bad faith that this guy wants you to fucking like smile, and that's the feedback. Like, no. But he doesn't like comprehend the feedback he's getting. Sometimes you have to apply something critically, and maybe like the feedback may not be exactly what you want, but maybe you could think about like, why are they saying this? Like, this is stuff that like you don't really have to like be told, and a lot of stuff is that you can infer. And again, straight up, there might just be feedback that just doesn't work, and you could just move on. But he entertains all this stuff. Then he like labels feedback as bad feedback, which like what is the vehicle of feedback? Like you can't be at the mercy. Again, the biggest issue is that there's no vision of what he wants to do on his own streams. Like again, gameplay is not a very like stable thing to make a living on, which is why a lot of people have changed or whatever. He says people have become drama streamers or whatever, but mostly a lot of times they're just like critical. You know, no, I don't think a lot of people consider Critical a drama streamer. A lot of stuff that Critical covers is like stuff that he wants to talk about, be it like media, maybe some like hot takes going on Twitter or whatever the fuck. Like he's not making content like, let's talk about what's going on in IRL. Do you know that this is going on with this guy? And let's talk about this for a moment. Like, you don't have to even do that. You can just literally talk about like, you know, shoot the shit, talk about like fucking nonsense. I don't know.
Ads and support you via Patreon and things, and you can't have that if you're not doing what the people want.
But a lot of stuff that he does that's even like akin to that, he makes it into like a TV show. Like the variety show that he wants to do is just gonna play out like any talk show that you've seen on TV, and it's gonna be fun for like a stream, maybe two, and then it's gonna run its course. Like, that's, like, DSP versus the Internet was literally America's Funniest Home Videos. That was the structure of it. It had no point. There was no, like, thing that was interesting. He hated a lot of the clips. A lot of clips got less and less interesting as it went on. And I didn't really understand the scheme. What was DSP versus the Internet? Like, you'd think, okay, maybe the point of it is that people are gonna show him like a lot of dumb clips, and he's gonna like have to like stomach it and try to comprehend it or whatever. But a lot of it was just like, this is boring. Guys, just pick good clips, okay? And then he'd skip through it. Like, it didn't have any like guidance. And then the guidance they did get was just no. It wasn't like, okay, you guys need to like submit clips that are a minute long, and if it's over that, I'm not adding to the playlist. Like it was really weird, and it just kind of like kept shifting over a while, and didn't really find a footing, and then it was just boring. Same with the retro reacts. Like a lot of stuff just falls through because there's no vision.
So you have to listen. You have to change. You have to be interactive. You have to do all this stuff. So I said, sure, let's do it. Let's change. And I did. I became fully interactive. I became a social streamer rather than just a gamer. I started doing lengthy playthroughs, all of the content. I did everything I was told is how you're supposed to do it. Here we are in 2025. Phil, you're doing it all wrong.
You're doing it wrong.
So again, I can't win. No matter what I do, it will never be good enough. You understand? Because that's the situation I'm in. So I get to the point where I just don't care anymore. Like, I'll just do it however, but I do need to find something that's going to work for games like Claire Obscura.
I like, then I don't care anymore. Okay, but then why don't you think about something? How come, like, and every time he thought of something, it wasn't good? Why was nothing he thought of was good, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Let's continue. Someone tipped $2. He says, please get over your fear of emulation. It's very easy to do, and you can play more classic games that are well established and respected. Man. It'll get more views. Look at the YouTuber, The Professional. First of all, no matter what I play, it's not going to equate to more views like you think. Again, I'm a unique situation. You got to understand that.
Okay.
Now, it's not that I'm afraid of emulation. Let's be honest. I think some people have this misconception that Phil's afraid that he doesn't know how to do it, and it's not going to work. It's going to crash. All right. There's two factors involved.
He doesn't know what to do. He is scared of it.
Number one, I'm the kind of guy that likes to lay out a schedule and say, I'm doing this, then, this, then, this, then, this.
Autism. Dude, shut the fuck up. You have, like, changed your schedule on a whim multiple times. He scheduled the Fatal Fury beta one day, and then it's like, I don't want to play, I'm gonna play, that fucking Sim knockoff. That's what he played. He didn't play Fatal Fury, even though he scheduled it for a week. And then he dropped it. He was scared. He got scared out of it.
This then, adhere to that schedule so
Adhere.
everyone knows what's going to happen, and then be there for it and do that content. Okay? With emulation, I don't know if it's going to work consistently all the time. And sadly, I don't have time to troubleshoot and mess around with tech. I just don't.
He doesn't have time, but he took time to do tech stuff in the past. And then, like, Rich tried to call him out on that. And then he's like, well, no, man, people loved it.
Look at how long it took for me to smooth out my setup when I upgraded in January. Why do you think I was so apprehensive about migrating from my old 10-year PC to the new one? It took like 3-4 months to work all the bugs out of the setup. So now we can consistently stream every day without something turning off. And even now, today, that still happens sometimes.
But this is not the same though. It's a very different thing because you're using a gaming PC that's already set up, and it's like there's less errors with that. Meanwhile, like, you're setting up a PC to stream on. There's a lot of factors that goes into that, right? So it's kind of different,
right? So now imagine I'm trying to get into emulation, and emulation is definitely something that's finicky that you need to tweak per each game and each situation. It's not, oh, here's just an emulator and here's a ROM, load it in, play.
Dude, he does that with every game. He did that with Night Rain. Oh, I went to settings and I did this. He goes into settings all the time. Like, come on.
For some games it is, yeah, SNES, but for anything past that, there's a lot of things you got to work on, all right? That's number one. I'm not saying it's not viable or it's not feasible. I'm saying, man, it would be tougher because it would mean me having to get savvy on something that I really don't have a lot of time to get savvy on. Or else, every time I go to do emulation, you may have, well, guys, I wanted to play this game today, but it ain't working. Now we got to mess with this for an hour on stream before we can even play, right? That's number one.
Able to do stuff off
number two,
sometimes.
This is the other factor. Emulation isn't legal unless you already own the game or the right.
Oh my god, it's not legal. Okay, man, sure. Okay. Didn't it get ruled in court that it was legal?
Rights to the game, etc., right?
Okay.
So let's say, for example, people are like, well, you...
But he emulated Home Alone. Did he own that game? Did he own Home Alone? He emulated Home Alone, and he downloaded Fightcade. He did download Fightcade, but whatever. He literally downloaded Home Alone, though. He played that. That was emulated. Did he own that? Did he own a copy? Maybe he did. Maybe in the Closet Cleanout stream, he showed us his cartridge of Home Alone, and everyone was like, Phil, you should... Whoa, you did own it. Whoa. And then the lawyers of Home Alone was like, oh shit, he owns him. He can't get him. No.
You emulate this game on PlayStation 1. Sure, but technically it's not legal. Now, I'm not saying that I would get into any kind of problems, but as you know, and I keep explaining this, I've already said it like 3 times on this show today. I am Darkside Phil. I am not every other streamer. You understand that?
Understand.
I'm not. I'm different because at every waking moment that I do anything, I have tens of thousands of idiots, obsessive losers on the internet stalking me. So if I play emulation, there's a very strong chance that I would have thousands of people reporting me to various different places saying, hey, did you know that Phil's playing this?
But, like, does that even happen? Like, he says that as if it happens. Like, does it even happen? Like, has anyone ever been reported for emulating? Like, the only company I feel would do that's legit is Nintendo. So all these would have to do is just not play Nintendo games and move on, right? He could just emulate other games. Because I don't think other companies... Then he could just simply see how legit the company is, basically, on just by looking at how emulation goes, I guess. But the most that they can do is remove the RAM. But has there been a case where someone streamed an emulated game and then, like, they got a cease and desist from the company? And I think they would just send him a cease and desist. They wouldn't, like, go straight for the court order yet. Like, he could stream it, try it out, and then, like, you know, if he gets a cease and desist, he could say, okay, well then, you know, that's that. Right? But I don't even think that happens. Come on. All right, I had to get lunch. Okay, I had to get lunch. Calm down. Okay, anyways, let's keep going.
Playing this game on emulation, this could be illegal because he probably doesn't have rights to do it, and that could send people after me.
Does this even happen to anyone? Did any streamer ever get in trouble like this? Like, oh, I streamed this and then I got a notification. The only company, again, would be Nintendo, but they probably would send... I'd assume for a first offense would be a cease and desist. But again, he doesn't have to emulate Nintendo games. He can emulate other games. Why did he emulate Home Alone? Does he own it?
Send people after my channel. That could send people after, you know, the business at large. You know, there's a lot of risk factors there.
Business at large.
And I know you may say, oh, that's just ridiculous. You do understand that when I was going to play GGPO, which is the way that the fighting game community plays fighting games online.
Just say fight.
There was actually people who were like this, like fucking super villains. They were like, well, good thing no one told Phil that you can use an IP sniffer with GGPO.
How did nobody tell him when people told him? I remember that podcast. He was so hyped. Then in real time, he went from, yeah, we're doing fucking, IP? Ah! Like, he got really upset. Like, it was a really wild one. When it's again, just freaking over a what if scenario. Like, what if it did happen? What if it didn't happen? How does he know?
And the moment you match with someone, you get their IP address. And the moment that they got it, they were going to DDoS attack me nonstop so that I couldn't stream. To the point where I was going to have to get my cable company to come out here and change my IP address again because it's not a quick fix with my cable company.
But why don't you try with the VPN you have now?
Didn't you know that there was an actual employee at my ISP who was resetting my modem on the daily and was changing all the information?
I love this on the daily when it literally happened one day. One day. The same day that... At least it was the same day. I mean, I don't remember any other days before that where it was being reset every day. Unless it was happening behind the scenes.
In the modem and turning on my wireless network to say insulting things about me to my local neighborhood.
Yeah, the insulting things was Panda Lee was hot. So I guess like the neighbors would say, Panda Lee is hot? Huh? What's that? What's a Panda Lee? Like, it really wasn't insulting. Like, it's weird to say it's insulting to... Like, he made it sound as if the guy said, yeah, my neighbors suck ass. You know, it's like, that's what he said. Oh, man, that's not what he said. It was just Panda Lee is hot. He's really, like, reading way too deep in this. My neighbors suck ass. That's what they made it say.
You're aware of that, right? That's the extent these weirdo losers have gone to mess with me in my life. So it stands to reason that something that's safe for everyone else, like playing on GGP.
Also, remember, he's saying this as he assured us that the trolls have no control over his life. The trolls can't do shit. They have no control. And, like, he can't even play emulation games. He can't even try. He can't even try.
Yo, doing emulation streams publicly is not safe for me because these people are fucking nuts.
They're nuts.
I would not for a second believe that if I did emulation, that they would go to Nintendo, they would go to Sony, they would go to the publisher of the game, they would go to YouTube, they would go to this, that, and they would file false copyright strikes.
Why would you emulate Nintendo games? We already, like, you know that they're litigious. This dude, see, this is the other funny thing. DSP does these gaming news stories, and he doesn't really retain what he reports on, because you would think, because I think he did report some of the Nintendo lawsuits that Nintendo's been doing. Like, obviously the Battle Royale's one, but at least when it comes to, like, emulation or like fan-made stuff or whatever that Nintendo's been litigious over, I think he has covered those stories. So you'd think DSP would be like, well, I'm not going to emulate Nintendo games because Nintendo is a litigious company. So he could just emulate other games. Like, if anything, all people are asking him to do is emulate games that he can't access. You can't even buy. And it's like sitting there like, well, they would go to these other companies. Like, how does he know that would even work?
And take down requests and, oh, this and that, and try to fuck with me. So that's why I really don't mess with emulation. If there was a tried and true, safe, guaranteed way to do it, I'd be okay with it. But everyone knows it is a gray area. 99% of people get away with it because no one cares. I'm the guy who'll get screwed because of these people on the internet. I hope you understand where I'm coming from.
Whatever.
Again, I'm not like everyone else.
This is like paranoia. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna say that I'm not the same way, because like I did some interesting stuff back in the day. Like you go on a certain, like, you sail the seas to find some movies or whatever, and you may find something on the seas. But then you're like, at some point you get a letter saying, "Oh, we figured you did this. Can you stop doing it?" And I was like, I'm gonna stop doing it because I don't want to fucking risk getting a lawsuit or whatever. Then you stop doing it. Like, anyone can say whatever. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And that's fine. But I'm not gonna make it my personality to tell you guys, like, I'm not gonna do this because I'm terrified. It's just, I don't want to do it. Plain and simple. Like, come on.
I can't do what everyone else does to be successful. It doesn't work for me because I'm Darkside Phil. Get it? Okay.
Get it?
Let's see here.
Oh, sorry. There's like, I think you feel something like
you cannot find the last podcast.
Okay, we're not
going to play through.
I don't care about this. Because people thought that he edited out the jump off a cliff thing, but he wasn't, because he said this so many times. Like, I think in order for him to do something like that, he would have to say something like super duper direct. Like, I think it would be more direct than that. Come on. I mean, I tell him to drink bleach every day, and I didn't get any demonetization or any issues. But it is what it is. The only thing that has happened ever since I said that, I get the occasional email saying, "We got Clorox bleach on sale. You want it?" And I'm like, "No thanks." Like, that's the most I got from saying it. Is either a troll is sending me Clorox bleach coupons or whatever the fuck, or one of my devices is spying on me and is like, "Oh, you must really like bleach." But they don't talk about the anime. They keep sending me the fucking liquid. I don't want it. Talk about the anime. Why not? Just send me an art book. There's an art book of bleach. Look at this. Take a look at this. But instead, it's fucking.
Oh, this is hilarious. Listen to this. This I didn't know about till this moment. This is the $3 tip, anonymous tip. Occasionally on a fighting game subreddit, you'll see someone making a post totally distraught at losing to you online. How you're
This doesn't happen.
Considering quitting the game since they lost to you. Sometimes they even mention watching the detractor vids of you playing, saying said fighting game, and they assume you lose all the time and think you'll be easy. You're way better at fighting games than they give you credit for. Yeah, they're morons. That's what.
No, I mean, honestly, I'm just gonna say, I think DSP is probably proficient. Like, he's probably whatever. He's proficient at fighting games. I mean, you play him enough times, you can pull off a combo. Like, you're gonna win eventually. I mean, hell, I play fucking Guilty Gear and I manage to get wins. I know, shocker, right? But I fought against DSP in Street Fighter. Well, I fought him 2 times. Fought him in Street Fighter 4. Well, 3 times. Street Fighter 4. That one was bad. To be honest, I haven't played. At that point, I wasn't playing Street Fighter 4 a lot, so I went in randomly to play him, and I don't think I was really like. I got really nervous because like, oh shit, it was terrible, and he double perfected me. It was awful, and but on the bright side, on that same day, it was look, you got double perfect. Everyone's like with Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj was saved by embarrassment. And then after that, I fought him with Street Fighter 5, and I feel like I could have won. I feel like I could have beat him. It's just always with the I was playing, I think Karen. I think it was Karen in Street Fighter 5, and you obviously with Karen you gotta be close to the opponent because she has no projectiles like at all. And he was playing as Geef, so you already know what happened. You're running the risk of being grappled, and Geef is a grappler. You know what happens with grapplers, so. It was, but it was very close. I did leave that thinking that I did better than I thought I would, and I did, and I think I could have won. I think if I played him more, I would have got him. Then I fought him in Injustice 2, and I beat him. I won. It was easy, even though part of me part of me did want to say it was kind of unfair. I was Power Girl, but it's another Realm game, so the entire game is fucking jank anyway. So it is what it is. But I played him fair and square. I did not do that fucking toolkit, whatever the fuck mods, whatever that gimmick was in Injustice 2. Like that one Bane player. Oh man, that was my favorite rage one. Oh, everybody clap for him! Yeah, you're so good. So good. It was kind of bullshit, but you got baby rage.
That's what you call those people, morons, because they just believe everything they're told. I'm actually good at fighting games. You have to understand this. There's other people out there who are considered in the same realm as me that aren't good at fighting games, like LTG. Like, he legit sucks.
Does LTG suck? I haven't watched him play at all. I don't know. I mean, he at least went to a tournament, for starters. I mean, he was able to perform at a tournament. I don't think he, like, DSP acts as if, like, LTG, like, completely sucks. The reason why LTG is clipped is because he rages, dude. Like, come on.
Alright? 99% of the time, the reason he wins is because he finds some abusable strategy, easy mode shit day one. After, like, a few months of a game, he always sucks at them. Okay? So now he tries...
What?
Alright? 99% of the time, the reason he wins is because he finds some abusable strategy, easy...
DSP finds abusable strategies in not even just fighting games, in every game. But he does that.
Mode shit day one. After like a few months of a game, he always sucks at them. Okay? So now he tries to play a fighting game and he loses 80-90% of his matches and everyone laughs at him.
You know what? Hold the phone. I remember back when DSP was like really obsessed with LTG. Like he wanted LTG to like play him in a fighting game and wanted to be his best friend, wanted to turn LTG into a friend, I think. Whatever. He saw that LTG didn't like the jabs in the game, and he's like, yeah, man, he's right. The jabs are ridiculous. Even he knows it. Or whatever the fuck. And then he went from that to saying that he couldn't handle watching people's supers, even though, like, there's always a bit of debate about, like, cinematic supers. I kind of go back and forth on it sometimes. It depends on how cool the super is. The only super that I've been kind of like, the one super I hate though is fucking Slayer's 100% tension super. It's just like I can sit through Dizzy's gamma ray because it's kind of cool. It's like she's doing fucking gamma ray and she's like yeah okay now she's like okay and then she locks in. It's cool. Slayer's it's just like you have to watch him like do this. Suck your like the beginning is cool. He's like, okay, I'm gonna do vampire shit. Then the rest of it is just like, okay, I don't need to see fucking young Slayer like clench his fist. That can go away. But whatever, it is what it is.
When I play fighting games, I literally always win more than I lose. Even in games I'm not good at, like Street Fighter 6, I still win more than I lose. I never have a losing night. It's like rarely happens.
How Street Fighter 6? He bragged about being good at that game. I remember he kept bragging about his fucking win streaks. Whatever.
In old school fighting games, I dramatically win more than I lose most of the time.
Yeah, but
there may be an exception.
Scrubs.
Like last time I was trying to play P-Groove, which I don't even know how to use.
Oh my god.
I had to basically take my licks trying to learn the groove. But most of the time, if I'm doing something I know about, I dominate in old school fighting games.
He bitched about it. How can I play P-Groove if everyone's a try-hard?
So, excuse me.
Oh, man, that's what I would say when I play Project Justice.
I'm actually good at fighting games. That's the funny part.
How can I learn the game?
On the internet, like this moron on Kick Chat, who I just permanently banned, don't know that because they don't watch me play fighting games. They watch the clip channels. They watch the negative highlight channels of the rare times when I'm losing a lot and I rage or I get really angry at the netcode or some abusable tactics some scrub is using.
Whatever.
And that's what they focus on, and they act like that's the majority of the time I'm playing when it's not.
But who cares?
I'm actually winning almost all the time.
He really acts as if like making fun of his gameplay is like making fun of his like culture. Like you're making fun of him being Italian.
Go check the track record. You'll find it out. But you actually have to watch the content.
The track record is he got 4th place at EVO, which is like, I mean, to be fair, it's not like a nothing placement, but that's like the highest he's ever gotten. Like the only place that people can respect. The Tekken trophy, he doesn't give a fuck about Tekken anyway, so why should I care about that fucking trophy? And then the rest he just took he just competed in placement matches and took everyone's placements. Like it was ridiculous. Like it was really a bad thing that he did that, and he brags about it all the time with no self-awareness that hey, maybe that's kind of fucked up because that's kind of like gatekeeping. Like you're kind of like preventing up and coming players from entering a tournament. Like, if anything, you could even argue, if you really want to be petty, that what DSP did may have contributed to why you don't see Super Turbo a lot in tournaments. Because they were like, yeah, this guy like ruined it, and we just don't want to deal with this anymore. Or that like people just didn't want to like fucking sign up for it because they didn't want to waste their time, so they just picked fighting games that DSP didn't play. But that's being of like petty, speculative, whatever. But that's the track record.
Not just some no-load loser who steals my content and misrepresents it on the internet. But yeah, that doesn't surprise me, because again, that's why the FGC doesn't like me, because they group me in with guys like LTG who...
No, they don't like you because of their personal interaction they had with you. Like, it's really annoying. I mean, I get it on his perspective. I get it on his side because, like, you know, you're not going to be very charitable with anyone else. But if he gave a fuck about why these people don't like him, he could just hear them out and listen to why they don't like him. And the other thing that's really funny, like, I always want to go back to watch him, like, react to June the King's documentary about his fighting game era, because this dude was talking about, back then in the FGC era, I was an asshole, I was evil, and this and that, right? He said all this stuff that, you know, you would assume, right? If he was that much of an asshole, he would start saying, like, yeah, I see why people don't like me because I was trolling them and I was being an asshole to them. But instead, he says, no, they club me in with LTG and they hate me for nonsense. Like, dude, you brag about how you were a shitty person during the FGC and you're surprised that they have no positive memories of you. Like, how can it be he's the biggest troll that was starting shit, and the FGC hates me for no reason? I mean, he could have done the semantics thing of saying the modern FGC. I'm sure that may be the case. But the thing is he set up a reputation with enough people that it's enough to permeate all generations, and it's not helping his case when he's just a shitty person. Like, I mean, come on.
Who actually legit suck and don't know that I'm actually good at fighting games. So then the people who play me lose all the time and get fucking upset about it because they don't realize that they lost to someone who's actually good.
He gets upset when he loses to Cammy and he thinks that they're bad players. And then, imagine how mad he'd get if those people are like, yeah, I don't know why DSP is bad. I'm good at the game. I'm good. He's just mad because he doesn't know any better or whatever the fuck.
Oh, let's see here. Luigi Mansion in the house did a 100
oh my god,
super chat,
he doesn't understand.
Which, as we know from track record, it's like $9.60, something like that. He says, if you save a bald eagle, does it mean you save a little piece of America? Well, it would mean that you're saving...
dude, what is the national bird or whatever the fuck? What is the one bird that America is obsessed with, Phil? Obviously, it's the cardinal, right? No, it's the fucking eagle, dude. Think about it.
The national bird. I do believe that there are bald eagles that actually aren't in America, too.
Oh my god, this dude is so dented.
Like, I don't think that bald
Why does it matter? Dude, I love that, like, he's so, like, semantics about American shit all the time. Like, American like, come on, dude.
Are limited
then again,
to just...
he doesn't understand, like sarcasm.
The United States of America, if I remember correctly. I think it's $9.63. That resonates, so I'm gonna put
But it's honestly what he's talking about. How does he not get the joke? It's such a lame joke. Anyone could understand it. I'm pretty sure my mom would understand it. And she's Greek, you know?
Okay, they're limited to the continental U.S., so not just the United States of America, but basically this land mass. There are some that are in other places too. Okay. But anyway, yeah, I would say if you do something relating a bald eagle, you're doing something inherently American. There you go.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, sure, man.
Cool.
Yeah, only Americans save eagles. Just don't look at a lot of the other stuff that we think about when it comes to saving endangered species or whatever. Whatever.
All right.
Okay.
Cool. Now, there is one thing. So for the record, really quickly, okay? Today, Clear Obscure, major stream right after this podcast, focusing solely on story. That's it. We're going to make major story progress today, see how far we can get. I'm hoping to get through Act 2, start Act 3, and we'll go from there and see how well we do. Please stick around, engage, and support this stream.
I was looking at the time duration.
We're trying to hit our goals.
I thought it wasn't moving.
We want to hit our goal milestone of 90 goals. Right now, we're at 86,
I got distracted
so we have 4 goals to hit. Once we hit 90, it is DSP tries it. The How to Train Your Dragon menu from Burger King,
OBS, sometimes I always get nervous that
a new fries side that's kind of supposed to be spicy, a new drink, and a new sundae. And I want to do it. It's going to be great. It's going to be
okay, I don't care about fucking Burger King.
Being the goal on this stream, please, let's get some support this stream to 90 minutes, and then by noon we start. 4+ hours of Ring Night right on the day stream. And next week, well, we'll see. Because it happens. There's going to be more Blueprints, more Clear Obscure, more Minecraft, more American Truck Sim, all that stuff next week. And then, of course, the next week, well, we'll see. Because it really depends on how things go. Switch 2 launch, I would love to do for you. But right now, I'm not sure. All right, we have to see what happens. You know
what? Okay, you know what? I'm coming around on this more and more. Now that I'm sitting on it, like, I do see it. I do see, like, why people saw it was a Switch 2 initially. And, like, I also hold out some kind of doubt on it. Like, I mean, I'm not swayed one way or the other fully. I'm not fully, and I'm a little skeptical. I'm a little skeptical on this. But I was clearly playing Guilty Gear as I was listening to this podcast, but I didn't notice. The moment he said, I would like to, that he picks up his phone. And I know Phil. We all know Phil. When he wants to look at something like tracking or whatever, he always goes to the phone. And he says Switch 2, then he gets his phone. So, I could see that, like, he was looking at the email or the data about what's the status on the Switch 2. Because I got an email like 2 weeks ago that Nintendo confirmed my invitation to get a Switch 2. I didn't need it because I got it from GameStop. But I used it to get the GameCube controller. Yeah, I'm GameCube cucked, guys, okay? I just love the GameCube. That was the one thing that got me. DSP's gonna bitch and moan about there's no launch games. And I'm like, well, I'll play Mario Kart World, but it also has Wind Waker. I mean, that is the best Zelda game ever made, as far as I'm concerned. But, anyways, yeah, it just seemed like he probably either got through the Nintendo thing, or a dent told him, I got it for you, it's coming, baby. And then DSP's like, yes!
Kind of up in the air, depending on how things go.
All right.
Okay.
This is a good thing to do during your podcast. I love when I listen to podcasts and the person is doing other shit during the podcast.
Okay.
I love it.
So, we'll see what happens.
I listen to Bill Burr, and he always is like, okay, guys.
And the launch, right now, nothing's a guarantee.
No, my emails.
So, that's why I'm not talking about it. I'll let you know. All right? And we'll go from there. Okay?
Okay.
Cool. A couple more.
I mean, I do think he's getting a Switch too. I do agree with that theory. But the marathon thing, I'm not fully convinced.
I got a $2 tip. Yeah. It's a shame you can't play some classic bad games and have some fun with them because they never get released.
He can't do that. Well, no. If it's old, then yes, he can because, he loves old shit. But Class of 09 was kind of like that. Like, oh, it's a bad game, but it's so funny or whatever. And he was like, it's a bad game. I got it. So, come on.
Pieces. A couple of suggestions. Maybe one of the mini consoles like a mini NES or SNES. But those games are actually good. We're playing some bad cheap ones on Steam.
Play some bad games, like the NES Mini, but those games are good. Wow, great suggestion.
To have some laughs. I mean, again, it's the viability of it. Number one, are they available to play, or do you need emulation, which I can't really do? Number two, Are they games that anyone would care about and tune in for? You know, I like the idea of playing a variety of bad games to get some laughs.
It's illegal. It's illegal. You can't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Trump will get you. He's gonna send you to El Salvador if you do it. I don't like these streamers playing, emulating their video games. I can't do a Trump impression. I can't even do a Biden impression. It's bullshit. And all he does is like trail off. Come on. You know, like in my day, I was like, you know, we eliminated emulation. We eliminated emulation. The threats of emulation are.
Okay.
We destroyed it.
Sorry. A lot of stuff is happening right now that has nothing to do with my stream. It's distracting the crap out of me, and I apologize for that, obviously, but I can't help timing of stuff, so it is what it is.
Stuff, yeah,
okay, I added that $2 tip, correct?
Dude,
another
actually,
$2 tip here.
Dude, what if? You know, because Target is also doing, like, in-store, like, you can buy the Switch 2 in Target the day of, and the next day is online shopping. What if you, like, we're gonna shop for the Switch 2, but since you can't, like, fuck with me IRL, I can do it. I don't know. Whatever.
Oh, really? Well, now and now who knows what to believe?
Oh my God.
Someone just tipped $2, says, I suspected the person who mentioned a Reddit thing is trying to bait you. I searched Darkside Phil and DSP in the subreddit. I don't even know what this means because I don't use Reddit. And I got no results.
What does this mean?
That's a LARPer trying to bait you to rant about that subreddit. I don't even know what subreddit you're talking about.
Dude, they didn't even say the subreddit. There's a fighting game subreddit. I mean, that's any subreddit. There's the Guilty Gear subreddit. Is that the subreddit?
Again, I don't know. I just respond to what you guys say, and you know, I don't even know what I don't use Reddit. I don't even know what the fuck a subreddit is.
He has a Reddit account, by the way.
I don't know how it works.
Okay, I don't know how it works. Anyway. He talked about Reddit all the time when they were making fun for begging. He knew all about
one other major thing I want to talk about today.
Streamer failed subreddit, whatever.
So, as you guys know, since I upgraded my setup and I changed things around, when I go on a break, which is usually either at the end of the podcast or it'll be like after I'm a big chunk into my gameplay and I take a break from when like my wife comes home from work or whatever it may be, I usually will play some clips. The clips that I have are a running playlist. Okay,
I do not care about the clips.
This is the channel right now.
I do not give a fuck about the clips.
I hope that makes sense. Game, and hopefully things will turn around. I actually can do some side content, but okay. Yeah, and we'll go back. We got a few tips. All right. Because last night I had to do. Okay, the schedule has been up. Mario Kart World. Switch 2 has one game at.
Oh.
Excuse me.
This is on the Switch 2. Let's listen to this.
VR says, if you end up getting a Switch 2, what games would you like to get with it? Mario Kart World.
Yeah, you won't play the other games. I mean, sure, they're all re-releases, but, like... I mean, Yakuza 0, Director's Cut has new content in it. Like, I don't know, does it have new story content as well? I know it has, like, the raid mode, which looks pretty cool. But there's other games he could play, but he doesn't like third parties. See, this is, as I said... The Switch 2 is the biggest waste of money for him, because all he's going to use it for is Nintendo games. He's not going to play Deltarune on it. He's not going to play Yakuza 0 on it. He's not going to play these other games. Like, I don't know what other game is releasing on it, but a lot of them is ports, but that was also the Switch 1, to be fair. But regardless, you know, these are games that are coming day one, and he could get Yakuza 0 to see how it runs, I guess, or just see the new content. Because I don't know if that's being released on other platforms. I don't know. But he won't touch the other stuff. Like, but even let's say that it has exclusive third-party games or whatever. He's not playing those. Like, he didn't play No More Heroes 3. He's not going to play any other game. If it's not made by Nintendo, he's not touching it. Like, that's all it is.
That's the only game for it.
Why not play Wind Waker?
Switch 2 has one game at launch, Mario Kart World. You know that, right? Literally every other game is a third-party port or another game that's already been out. There's nothing else to play on it. There's one game at launch. So I'm playing Mario Kart World at launch if I get the Switch 2, and then I'm waiting a month, and then in July, I'm playing Donkey Kong Bonanza.
So why are you buying it day one?
And then after that, I'm just waiting until the next new game. There's no games for this console.
But you realize you don't need to get day one views, right?
It's just true. I'm not exaggerating. That's the actual God's honest truth. There's nothing to play on it. They're launching a console with one video game for it.
I like he says this, but like, what were people playing with the PS5 when that came out? I think Spider-Man 2 came out. The Ratchet & Clank game, I don't think it was a day one game. I think that came out like a year later. So what about that? The PS4, I don't think had a good launch. I think it only had Killzone. PS3 Resistance. That like, honestly, the only time you had a good launch lineup was the PS2. Like that was it. That was the last time you saw a good launch lineup. I mean, the 360 had good ones as well. I think I don't know if it had Gears of War. No, I don't know. Whatever. 360 might have been the only game, only modern console that had a better launch lineup. After that, no other console had a good lineup. So I kind of think it's like no point in like, you know, talking about this.
They're literally expecting their launch to be third-party ports that you've already played.
I love that he's like, oh, they're expecting their launch to be third-party. I mean, like, the third parties are the ones that made these games, but whatever, okay.
Or ports of games you've already played on the previous Switch. Like, wow, it's not a lie. Or third-party ports that you've already played, or ports of games you've already played on the previous Switch. Like, wow. It's not a lie or a twist of any kind of truth.
But who cares? Like, if
it has no games, why buy it? For you, I don't know if I can answer that. The only thing I can think of to say is, if you really like Mario Kart, if you've been waiting to play third-party games on a Nintendo console, that's it. Man. For me, it's a lot different. I'm a content creator. The fact that to have
why did he buy all these other ports of the games he already owns?
Right? To be able to,
dude, he owned the original like PS4 download of like GTA, and yet he rebought the definitive collection. Why did he buy that? Okay.
To unpack it, to be able to hook it up, to do that live coverage of the launch of the console, to give you my opinions on what I think about the new Joy-Cons, the battery life, how the graphics are.
How is he gonna measure the battery life? Real talk. Maybe the Joy-Cons. Maybe he could talk about the battery life of the Joy-Cons, but the unit itself is gonna be docked forever. How is he gonna know the battery life of the console? Like, you're not gonna be that deep with it, Phil. You're not gonna play it portably. Kat will probably have more of an opinion than DSP has on the Switch too, and she's probably gonna use it more than him. Like, it's kind of funny to me he wants to buy 2 Switch 2s when, I mean, it's kind of in a way to dance around the criticism that the Switch 1 that was gifted to him, by the way, basically became Kat's. But at that point, why not just say you bought this for Kat and then you're sharing it with her at that point? I don't know, like, because he was very odd about not even like dodging Switch 1 completely all the time. But it's like, why not just say you're sharing it with Kat and she's using it more than you or whatever? Like, it was never that. He never admitted that Kat even used it in a meaningful way.
On it, how it runs, the online connections and capabilities of it, right? And then to play Mario Kart World, to tell you my opinions on the first new Mario Kart game in over a decade. Yes, it's actually been over 10 years since they came out with a new Mario Kart, if you can believe it. All of that has tons of value for me as a creator. It doesn't necessarily have tons of value for you to buy a Switch 2. Get it?
Get it? All right, pick your nose. Clean your face.
Listen, we were doing that. We were says, would you be interested in doing instead of longer playthroughs, like special streams called like Wild Card, where you just try a bunch of indie games. Listen, we were doing that. We were actually doing indie nights, remember?
Remember? Yeah, but you also did this before. Called Game Pass. Remember Game Pass night?
Yeah, we're gonna go on Game Pass. We're gonna see what's on Game Pass. It's gonna be pretty cool.
And it was so annoying because it was just literally just the say no to game stream. He was like, I don't want to play this, don't want to play this. But then again, just like the indie games, he found shovelware to play. And it's like, you're not gonna like play actual games? Like, it's so lame. And they like he does these indie night streams are so boring. It's just cringe shovelware games that are just like junk food. He's not playing actual games that are indie games. Like that one RPG that looks fucking weird as fuck. Doesn't want to touch it. Doesn't want to even try it. But this game that looks like shit. That's you're driving a truck. I'll play that. Why not?
Remember earlier this year, I played games such as mouthwashing, the one about what was it, Kiosk, the horror food game, right, and others. But then people said, play Disco Elysium. So I did, and that took over a month, and we didn't even get...
But Disco Elysium was a different indie game. Like, the dude is saying play another indie game. Like, why don't you just... Like, the dude even said, do indie wildcard, where you just pick a random indie game, which isn't really random, because he's gonna, like, pick the game. And just try it out. Like, you're not committing to a playthrough of it. Why don't you just do that, right? Whatever.
Even get that far in, and then people said, quit it. So I did. And since then, we haven't really gotten back to having indie games in the rotation because I've been playing chill games like Minecraft and Truck Sim. I guess you could argue Truck Sim is an indie game. So yeah, I would like to have indie games back in the rotation.
Oh man, remember when you used to brag about indie games? It's all bullshit.
I just got a $3 tip.
Man, I was listening to like the Tevin restream last night, and he mentioned like,
lie, Phil. This sounds like a bad cope. You're lazy every time we give a suggestion. No, it's that you refuse to use from Star Facts. Not gonna lie, Phil. This sounds like a bad cope. You are lazy every time we give a suggestion. No, it's that you refuse to use your brain.
Yeah, no, you bitch. Dude, the suggestion box was you literally shooting down ideas, or just morphing into why you couldn't do something. Like, sure, I talked about this before. Like, sure, there are bad suggestions, sure, but it's not like, but he's not a good faith guy to like really care about.
To put yourself into my shoes, this is a huge problem with the actual new generation of people on this planet.
Oh my god.
People have grown up now in a generation where they're told...
This is such a boomer take. Such fucking complaining about younger people that, listen to this. And just remember, this dude in the same podcast said that he's special. He's unique. He's different. He can't do what other people do. He's a special little guy.
You're entitled to everything. Instant gratification. You're a special snowflake.
This dude talks about how he's entitled for shit all the time. Like, this dude is like, genuinely, like, confused. Why he can't hit goals every stream. Oh, guys, we need to hit this goal by this day. Come on, guys. Where's the support? Why are you guys giving me money? And this and that. Like, that's being entitled. Like, he says, well, he's just stating facts and this and that, but it's entitlement to act as if, like, you should be getting that money. Like, the support he's getting, he's not entitled to it. Like, if anyone streams, nobody's entitled to get support. If they get it, that's great, because people want to support the people they want to support. But nobody's entitled to get to that money. They are entitled... I don't know how to say it. They're entitled if they want or something, but that's not right either. But they should be appreciative if they get it. You know, that's basically the gist. Because you're not entitled to get the money that they're giving. Like, he wasn't entitled to that super chat until he gave him the money. Like, Luigi's Mansion wanted to give DSP $9 super chat. He wanted to give DSP that money. DSP was still not entitled to it. Luigi's Mansion could have just kept that money to himself, and that would have been fine. But he's sitting there saying that other people are feeling entitled because they don't feel that they're being heard, or that they don't feel like he's acknowledging their feedback or anything. But that's what's kind of going on, though. Like, people are giving him feedback, and he's not really, like, applying it or thinking about it. Like, the emulation thing, right? He could at least think, okay, well, I don't want to emulate because I don't want to run the risk of, like, getting into legal battles, and I don't know how it's going to run. But what if, like, if there's a game that maybe I can't emulate, like, he doesn't even just try to, like, say, well, no, I can't do emulation, but maybe I could do, like, I could try Fightcade with the VPN, see how that goes, whatever. But he doesn't do that.
You're better than everyone. I don't know why. I didn't grow up like that.
Oh my god.
You're entitled to everything. Instant gratification. You're a special snow.
I wasn't raised that way. My parents didn't tell me I'm a special snowflake or that I should have instant gratification. Like, there is a fine, like, every parent obviously wants their kid to have an easier life or a better life or whatever. Like, that's, basic. Basically, they want their kid to have a better life than theirs. But that doesn't mean that they want their kid to be spoiled or, buy them everything that they ask for. Like, these are not really, like, the same thing. It's all situational and this and that. But this is just, like, boomer talk that doesn't have a kid and thinks that the younger people are dumb. Like, it's just that mindset. Like, he doesn't get it. He doesn't get it.
Snowflake, you're better than everyone. I don't know why. I didn't grow up like that. No one told me that when I was growing up.
How does he know everyone's raised that way? He's perceiving this off of, like, like there's articles like, oh, there's safe spaces on campus. Oh, and it's like, who fucking cares? Like, oh wow, there's a room where people can go if they feel like that they're stressed out or having anxiety about something. They just want to go to a place and just cope about it. Like, you may think that's dumb. Like, I'm not gonna tell you what to think about it, but whatever. Who, like, sure, why not, right? Who's it hurting? But he's, like, taking these stories and, like, applying it to, like, everything about that generation. Like, not everyone who is, like, that grew up with SJW parents or whatever doesn't mean that they're gonna end up being like, oh my god, I can't handle the name on my as these would use as an example of my caramel macchiato is incorrect. Like, nobody is like that at all unless, like, you go off stereotypes. Like, it's just insane. And the most that people I've seen, like, think this way and to be super uncharitable about it are people who are, like, who don't want to understand other people's, like, point of view on, like, certain situations. Like, but it's whatever, like, it's just, I get kind of annoyed when he goes on these little rants, to be honest.
Okay. But everyone seems to feel that way now. On this, all younger people are of this weird entitlement mentality, right?
Like what? Explain.
So now it's like, so we made a suggestion and you're not doing it, so you're lazy. No, you made a suggestion.
But this is like, but he's being uncharitable to this. He's not really understanding the context of why they feel this way. Like, I mean, he can't, like, understand that maybe it's like, I can't do this. Like, that comment that was posted, again, let's go back to that comment, right? That long-ass comment. He did not read it. He just straight up didn't read it. If he read it, he would understand that he labeled the time for the length of time it took him to play these games for the idea that he can schedule his game streams better to do that. But he didn't read it, and instead just focused on the length of time, and then said, like, well, I can't play the game for a week. That's not what the guy said. The guy said, like, if it takes you this long, why do you play it, like, twice a day, and then, like, or you play 2 times a day, you play it like that, and then, like, whatever. But instead, he's like, no, I can't do that. That's stupid. He said basically to play two games, which he is kind of already doing that. But he's not even reading that suggestion. The suggestion box, again, is another example of this. He reads all these suggestions and he doesn't understand what they're suggesting to him, and he shoots it down. The dude asked him, why don't you play like a co-op game with Kat and have better chemistry with each other? And because you think that a married couple would have chemistry, and he took it as if the dude said they should do cocaine together. Like, I mean, come on.
And I literally concretely outlined to you why the suggestion doesn't work, because I'm a different case than the other people you're referencing. Oh, well, you didn't listen to me, so you're lazy. I don't like you. No.
Again, he didn't read that long-ass comment. What do you call that? You're right, lazy.
Fucking brain. Put yourself into my shoes for 10 seconds. Imagine your dark side, Phil, and you have to put up with all the shit that I do, and you have all the adversity thrown against you that I have.
Again, this goes back to the other thing. Yeah, some feedback may not work, and you don't read it, and you don't like think about it. And if the person says, "You didn't read my suggestion, what the fuck?" You could just say like, he doesn't have to be this confrontational about it. He could just say, "I read it, but I just didn't want to like." It's not what I want to do. I mean, of course, at the end of the day, the dude is not going to be happy they didn't take his feedback. I mean, nobody's going to, like, jump up and down when you ignore them. But sometimes that's just how it is. That's just how the cookie crumbles. But to take the time to be this antagonistic and say that they don't know, and they need to think about what I need, or what about me, or whatever, is not really a good reaction to it. You could just say, like, I mean, he did explain, like, the emulation thing. Let's go back to the emulation example. He could just say, I don't want to do emulation because I don't want to run the gambit of getting into legal trouble. I don't want to risk getting in any trouble that's going to put me in massive debt after getting out of bankruptcy or whatever. Or just simply just say, I don't want to deal with the legal trouble of emulation. And then end it there and say like, or say like, maybe instead of emulation, this guy brings up indie nights and I haven't done it for a while. Maybe I should just do it. Or he says do a wild card. Maybe I'll just pick a game and play it for an hour, then get a refund, then take that refund and put it into another game or whatever. Like, he could be a little more creative when he gets these suggestions. I mean, some of these suggestions, like, sure, the emulation one, arguably, at best, wouldn't work for him. But he has shot down suggestions that would work for him. And he doesn't really, like, entertain it. Again, he didn't read that long-ass paragraph that explained what he thinks he should be doing.
Have, but somehow you're still persevering because you're not doing these things, right?
Right.
That's what you need to do, but it seems like there's a whole generation of people that don't have the ability to do that anymore. Instead, it's my way, my way, my way.
But that's DSP, though. He does the same thing. He doesn't, like, empathize with the viewer at all. Like, he played Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 during a marathon. DSP said that wouldn't work and this and that. But he didn't even want to even think, well, since it didn't work for the marathon, I only played, like, 2 hours of it, and maybe I was, like, near the end of the tutorial, maybe I should just give it another stream to give it another chance, just to see maybe outside the tutorial, and I actually want to give the game the chance, I'll play it. But the thing is, he didn't really play the game in good faith. Like, it started in good faith, I'll argue that. But as it went on, the mask fell off, and he decided to go back to being petty, like he did with Stellar Blade. Like, these games, like, I mean, with Stellar Blade, it's a bland game. Like, I don't think it's awful or anything, but I don't think it's anything that's, like, anything to write home about. But DSP, like, talked about that game as if it was, like, a sin. Like, as if, like, the fucking devil came up with it. Like, it's a nothing game. But with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, he could have at least tried it. If he's talking about how we should all empathize with him, why does he try to empathize with people who like the game and try to play the game fairly? Like, he couldn't keep it consistent. He complained that the tutorial was too long. Then in the daily wrap said the game sucked. But then he said, well, it's not the game that sucks, it's the tutorial's too long. I mean, which is it, dude? Like, it just doesn't make sense. So why would anyone in their right mind, give DSP any empathy. Why would anyone be empathetic to this guy when he's the least empathetic person out there?
Way. Oh, you didn't do my way? Wah. Well, that's not how to go through life because you're not going to be successful. You're going to find yourself weighing.
But you know what's funny? I just realized this. He's complaining how people in his chat are saying that he doesn't listen to them. This dude bitches about how people don't listen to him all the time. All the time. DSP cries on stream about how nobody listens to him. I said don't nominate Mario Sunshine, they nominate Mario Sunshine. I told them to nominate Law Games, they nominate Law Games. All the time. He bitches and moans about people who don't listen to him. And he is telling the chat that they're bitching. You do the same shit, my guy. I have videos on it.
Quite a lot. If you don't listen to what people say. I'm telling you your suggestions don't work, and I'm factually outlining why. That's not laziness. That's, hey, I've been there, done that. I know what works, what doesn't. Here's the deal. I know that a lot of these things people suggest, sadly, if I emulated something right now, I would have people knocking on my fucking door saying, yo, you broke the law. Don't you get it? I'm different than everyone else. Sucks that I'm in that position, but I'm telling you as concretely as I can that things aren't as simple as you think. You think life is so simple. It's not. Especially for someone like me, life's very complicated, and I have to dance around certain issues and treat things a lot differently than others do.
Okay.
Maybe you don't want to believe it because you're part of that group. Maybe because you're actually part of the group that derides Darkside Phil and makes his life miserable, and you don't want to believe.
But see, like he's saying, like, oh, this and that. Okay, I mean, on its own, he's just expressing that, like, maybe that person doesn't, like, is not being empathetic. And he could have left it at that. Like, he didn't, like, spend time to think about what would work for a DSP. Instead, he instead of leaving it there, he decides to go on and then insinuate that the guy may be a troll or he's listening to the wrong people, which isn't, like, the best thing to say when you're trying to talk about feedback.
Believe that, right? It ain't so bad for him. Actually, why do you think that I have to do things so differently than everyone else in my life? Because of these fuckers, because of these weirdos, you know?
He wouldn't live a day in Chris James' shoes, I'll tell you that much. Talk about a hard life. Think about that. All right, we're back to silence.
To Nintendo and others, it's obvious. I mean, you're right.
Wait, what?
Zangief says, you might actually be the first person to get jailed for emulation. The detractors are insane.
Oh my god, dude, this is bullshit. These people are completely ignoring that one guy. There was one guy that got fucked by Nintendo, basically. And, like, his entire life is, like, owed to Nintendo at this point. It's really fucked up. Like, I don't know if he did, like, a fan-made project or he emulated something. I don't remember because this was, like, a few years ago. But, like, he got saddled with, like, millions in debt or whatever, to the point where he can't realistically pay it off in his lifetime. Like, there's no way he's gonna pay it off in his lifetime. And his, like, his wages are getting garnished for it, I think. It's a really fucked up situation. And I don't know if it ever had a happy ending, because the last I heard of it was that he's fucked financially, and it's awful. So, I mean, I'm sorry, Phil. That guy has it way harder than you. He can't even get he can't get a full paycheck anymore. And this dude is sitting here saying, "Oh, he's having it so hard." Oh, okay, man.
And legions of letters and calls to Nintendo and others. It's obvious. I mean, you're right. You're legit right. I believe they would do that. Again, these morons who say things like victim mentality don't understand what I've actually been through. It's not that I want to be that way.
It's funny that, like, you know, he had no empathy, right, for, like, Anita, for her claiming that she was a victim of harassment and all this stuff. Like, everyone really did not really believe that she got any harassment. and DSP joined in on that bandwagon. So you think, right, if DSP like joined in on that bandwagon as this is happening to him, maybe he'd understand, he'd connect the dots that like, oh shit, maybe sometimes like people are wrong when they accuse people of not getting harassment or whatever, right? Like it's that's just an exercise of empathy. Like he has no qualms on joining a bandwagon, but when he's on the receiving end of a similar bandwagon, he's like, this is fucked up, guys.
I factually am. Get it?
Get it?
Like, I'm not exaggerating. I'm not making my end all be all that. If you don't notice, I don't really bring it up, but it's true. It's still happening. If I ignore reality, that would be more crazy than to not. You know what I mean? So it's just people don't want to believe the fact that everything that they've said and done has led to a really toxic, crazy internet movement against me to fuck with my life. But they has.
It's so funny he says this. As last year he said everyone likes him now. He's back. I'm back. And now he's back to the world hating him.
But they won't take any actual responsibility or blame for it. They refuse that. Oh no, all those videos where you said horrible things that I didn't do, but you said I did them.
It's funny, right? He's done similar things that he never really responded to or correcting. Like, he never did a meaningful apology to Pro Jared at all when Pro Jared had receipts for some of the stuff that happened. I mean, he didn't apologize to that. He was like, I don't care. There were other stuff that happened that he didn't really like correct, like ever. But whatever. Okay, man. Yeah, the trolls are the only ones that are guilty of this. All right.
Didn't you think that would actually turn into something someday? That not everyone gets the joke or not everyone.
But like, what are we supposed to do then? Like, this is the slippery slope, right? Like, you can't like completely police like everyone like that, and the best you can do is just judge for yourself. Like, if someone's like, I'm not responsible for what someone else does. Like, you could argue that, okay, well, the troll channels have created an environment that someone may like go too far with it. But at the end of the day, who's gonna get jail time? The person who did the action. Like, you could argue that like the content is bad or the content's negative and toxic and harmful, or whatever. But at the end of the day, like it's really what that individual does with this stuff in their life. Like, because on one hand, if this content is if these kind of videos really do cause such massive stuff, then wouldn't a lot of tragic shit happen way more frequently than it is? Like, it's all like different, and it's always like the people who do the thing, there's always something going on there. But it's like, it's not the content or the videos that are the problem. I mean, there's all this other stuff, but he simplifies it to say, well, they did this and they didn't think that this was going to come back and happen. But it's like, well, I'm not actively encouraging it though. But then when something happens and people can argue that what DSP does encourages it, he said, I don't condone it, I rebuke you. Like, people were blaming him for like all these like mass strikes that were going on and this, that, and even like back, if you go further back, when he brought up Jackie Chin and Be Awesome One, he said, don't go after them. If you do that, I rebuke you. And this and that. But then, like, fast forward again, you have these people doing like fake copyright strikes, fake takedowns, and DSP is like, it is what it is. Like, what about that? I don't know. Whatever. I lost the point why I brought that up, to be honest. But like, no. People were blaming him for that, and he said, "Well, that's not me, dude," and this and that. And then it was upset that people were saying that he's responsible for that. That's it. Okay, I'm back, baby. He argued that he's not responsible for what other people do in his name. If people take down another channel with his information, that's not his fault. But a lot of people were arguing it legally. It is his responsibility because it's his content and this and that, and it's his identity that that person's running around with or whatever. But he wouldn't like take ownership of that. Same thing with Vidar Viking. Vidar Viking went to Kiwi Farm, started shit to the point where it started a whole thing, a whole thing there. And DSP was like, "Look, guys, I can't be held responsible for what my fans do." But then how come you're not responsible for what your dumb fuck fans do? But if I say DSP should eat bricks, and then someone sends you a brick, is that my responsibility? How come it's my fault that someone else sent you a brick, dude? I didn't tell him to do that. He did that on his own. Am I supposed to police everyone what they do outside my videos? How come he can't police his own chat when he outside his streams, right? Like, that was the go-to defense when it came to Derek. Like, and then and now he's gonna say, well, I banned Derek, but after being bullied into doing it, and it doesn't really absolve him because he didn't really do it out of like, oh yeah, he is kind of a weirdo. It was straight up like he just wanted people to stop talking about it. He was over it. Whatever.
Everyone cares that you're just trying to make a dime, but instead people will go crazy and believe you, and now people actually hate me because you're a disingenuous fool, an irresponsible person who should be in jail for what you've done. Don't you think that all these people who over the years...
One guy, it's the meme, that big like prisoner that's like, I was here for doing fucked up shit, what are you in for? And then that guy is like, I made videos about DSP and I called him a doo-doo head. And then that guy's gonna slide all the way to the other side of the bench because he's truly scared of that guy, right? He doesn't want to be made a video of, oh god, this guy's gonna make a video about me. No!
Years over the last decade who have every single day slandered me should be held accountable, but they're not. YouTube allows it.
Again, we're back to fantasizing about legislation. As this guy said before, I would never want to take down other people's channels. I never would. And now he's back to, yeah, fuck them.
The law doesn't.
Oh, but you know why? Because there's nothing going on, like, at all for him to be like, stop me, man. If there was something going on that was gonna like that's causing people to be upset at him, he'll be like, I would never want to do that. No. But since like, you know, it's like an era of peace, and then you have like a guy sitting there like, yeah, that country fucking sucks, piece of shit country. Then like you go to war, they go, hey, I don't know why he's mad at me, guys. Like I would never want to go to war. I want peace. Like it's that kind of logic here.
But the law can only be selectively upheld by those who are rich. That's the truth. The law says all this stuff that people put out about me every day actually is illegal. But the only way to enforce it is for me...
It's illegal if I said it's a fact that DSP has green hair or whatever. I'm going with that example. And I said it as a matter of fact, and I don't say it... Like, if I'm being speculative or whatever, like, that's not the same. Like, I'm not saying, oh, DSP is that, guys. He is definitely that. But it's like, no. I'm speculating on, like, my opinion. It's just a public opinion. Like, whatever, okay.
For me to be rich.
And then, like, it would also be illegal if I upload a video, I just re-upload it. You can argue that's theft, sure, whatever. Or I upload a video that's like, I claim it's DSP. Like, if I did all my DSP videos, my Dark Side Theo videos, and I said this is DSP, and this is what DSP did, this is a DSP video, then that could be like, and I try to portray it as honest. Like, I don't portray it as a parody or whatever. Like, that could be like a problem. But it's very obvious a parody. Like, come on, dog.
Lawyers to slap YouTube and these people with lawsuits. And I'm not rich. So I want you to think about that, how messed up that is. We actually have a system where anyone can say and do whatever they want, and they're perfectly protected unless you're rich. Then you can go after them. If you're not rich, every law doesn't matter because anyone could violate the law and no one cares. There is no one policing the internet for this stuff.
But you would be victim too of this, though.
Pretty messed up.
But whatever, okay, sure. I mean, this is really petty. And again, like, is it like this dude bitches about Nintendo for doing lawsuits and all this other stuff all the time? This is Nintendo thought. This is CEO thought. Where I need to protect my property. I need to protect my content from the masses. This is gonna hurt the bottom line. And it's like, this is really petty, dude. You don't need to do this. Like, and they're like, no, I have to. Gotta protect the property. I don't want Mario on Steam. I don't want Mario being modded to be something else. Like, you know? And this dude is saying like, I wish I could sue them all. Wow, man, so cool. Hello, internet police? But if he wants to sue them, he can just do a lawsuit fund. I mean, it's been done before, but what would happen is that people would accuse him of, like, pocketing the money. It's because, like, that's just how
No, you have no idea how the legal system works. You don't. I would have to be very, very affluent to go after anyone for anything. Just a single court case takes thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars and takes sometimes years of time.
But why go through that?
And that's a single court case. Think about how many people are doing this to me on a daily basis, right? So I could go after the big fish first and then go after the small fries, but
why?
I'd have to literally have like...
See how shitty this is, though? I could go after... He wants to go after everyone. Like, go for the big fish first, then the small fries. Which is kind of fucked up, because arguably, just in that metaphor, the small fries aren't really doing any damage, right? They're small. They're little guys. So you want to crush the little guy, too? I thought you don't punch down. Like, this is kind of, like, not cool.
Have like endless money, hundreds of thousands of dollars to sue these people. And I don't have it, nor do I have the time. I'm a hard worker, right? I'm streaming 5 to 6 days a week full time. I don't have time to be sitting around with lawyers and in court.
Remember when he used to brag about how he doesn't want to sue
Who'd be
people?
on top of the list? Whoever makes the most money.
Okay.
Until finally people realize, oh shit, it's not viable to do this anymore. And you take their money, and then you move on to the next.
Wait, what?
Who'd be on top of the list? Whoever makes the most money.
Oh, who'd be on the top of the list?
Because that's how you do it. You go after the person who's making the most money on your back, and you take their money, and then you move on to the next, down the list.
So okay. See, let's highlight how shitty DSP is and how much of a fucking asshole he is. Because clearly, like, honestly, when you have people bragging and fantasizing about lawsuits, they're not really cool people. A lot of people who, like, I mean, do people think Nintendo is cool for doing these lawsuits? I mean, technically, they're in their right to lawsuit a company. Like they were in, like, they could sue Palworld for whatever they feel like, because, you know, it's their property. It's Pokemon, and they're very protective of that. Like, and you could argue that it's petty or that it, you know, whatever. And that's a criticism, sure. But nobody's sitting there saying, "Wow, Nintendo's in their right to do this. What cool guys." Guess what? Everyone is like, "Yeah, I like their games, but man, their fucking legal shit's fucked up." Or whatever the fuck. Like, they don't like it. Because get this, people don't like people who spend their time suing people. What a shocker, right? And this dude is, like, fantasizing about suing people. Like, this isn't a really cool thing for a independent YouTuber to do. Like, it's kind of fucked up if you think about it, because, like, no, like, why are you fantasizing about suing people? And then, like, he wants to go after people who make the most money. Okay, I mean, sure, if you're in it for the money, in DSP's perspective, okay, sure, I can get why DSP wants to go after those people. But now DSP is saying that he'd go down the list. So even if I did what he said he wants trolls to do this not for the money. I just want to make this clear. When he was, like, raging about Duty and all these other detractor channels, he made it a point to say,
it's one thing if you do it for free, but doing it for money, that's fucked up.
Okay, so then he like loves the SOK simply because he had a moral against making money on DSP. well, I'm not making money on DSP content. These videos are not monetized. So, but he wants to go down the list. So naturally, that would imply he'd go after people who make the least, which would be $0. So so he would eventually, in a way, come after me. Why? I'm a nobody. I'm a like a baby channel. You want to go after me? I thought you don't punch down. I thought you punch up, right? And then this dude will sit there and bitch and moan about how other companies and other YouTubers sue other people and how bad it is, blah, blah, blah. But this dude is actively, like, having a fantasy about suing people.
Until finally people realize, oh shit, it's not viable to do this anymore because Phil is actually destroying everyone who does it. And then it ends. But just take a look. Just take a quick look.
But technically there is a way for him to do that. But the thing is, Philip, he told us in the past, it's like a hydra. If I take down one channel, 2 more will pop up in its place. And guess what? More people are gonna hate on him. Like, dude, LTG was trying to do that, and guess what? DSP also shattered LTG for doing that. Like, dude, he even shouted Rich about this.
Oh my god, Rich is threatening June the King about his documentary. And LTG did the same. Oh my god.
And now this guy's like, I would take everyone down if I could, man. I would. I wish I could. I wish I could. But this dude will be like, yeah, LTG and Rich are fucking assholes for wanting to do that to June the King. But look at him now. Look at this bitch now.
Look, for example, the whole thing that went down with Billy Mitchell and Carl Jobst, I think is his name. So, Carl Jobst, who was a beloved YouTuber for years and years, saying all this stuff about Billy Mitchell.
Well, you don't know the details.
Eventually, Billy Mitchell sues Carl Jobst and says, dude, you just can't just say whatever you want on YouTube about me. That's illegal.
Oh, my God.
You have to have actual factual justification for what you're saying, or else you're breaking the law. And Carl Jobst kept going to his audience and saying, well, Billy Mitchell's in the wrong. He lied here, he lied there, finance my court case. He lied here, he lied there, finance my court case. Guess what? He lost his court case.
Yeah, but why is he mocking this? Like, people have mocked this guy, sure, whatever the fuck. I don't know much of the details. But the thing at the end of the day I want to highlight, Carl Jobs, like, Billy Mitchell wanted to sue him. Like, Billy Mitchell wanted to sue him. And Carl Jobs, like anyone else, like if you're being sued, you would want to defend yourself, I assume, unless you're like, I don't know. And obviously he needed a legal fund to do that, right? Because Carl Jobs is not a billionaire, so of course he's asking for fun. Like, why are we attacking him for doing that? Like, people have to attack this guy or not attack. Whatever. You know what I mean? Like, they said this guy is in the wrong. Because, like, oh, this guy, like, he lied and this and that. But nobody has said, yeah, Carl Jobs is a piece of shit. He asked for a defense fund. No, he needed a defense fund because he needed to go to court for this. Just because you lose a court case doesn't mean that it was a waste of money, because you at least knew at the time, like, when you lose, you're like, well, I at least tried. I tried to make a defense and this and that. I would much rather lose that way than I'm going to represent myself because it's cheaper and then lose. Because at that point, you're like, well, did I lose because, like, I'm actually in the wrong, or did I lose because I'm not a lawyer? Like, come on.
Out there defaming Billy Mitchell over and over and over and over. So Billy won, and now Carl Jobs owes him a ridiculous amount of money. You know, and that's the case. But look how long that took.
But
look how
whatever. I mean, there's a lot of semantics to it too. Because, like, I don't think it's as simple as, like, oh, Carl Jobs said Billy Mitchell's a doo-doo head. I think it was, like, about, like, some like tragic suicide or whatever. Which, like, of course, you know, people are gonna, like, not want to be associated with that and all this other stuff. Like, it's a complicated story. I don't know much about it because I don't follow Billy Mitchell. I don't know. I don't know about even Carl Jobs either. These two things that happened, I'm ignorant on.
Look how long it took for that to go through. That was an ongoing thing for years. And that's one case. That's because Billy Mitchell had his one biggest troll. Okay?
But he didn't.
You know what I mean?
But he wasn't a troll, though. Like, it was just, Carl Jobs, from what I understand, again, I take it with a grain of salt. Like, Carl Jobs made a statement or whatever describing something that happened, and Billy Mitchell was like, that's not what happened, and that's wrong, and then he wanted him to take it down. Like, that was like the short end of it, from my understanding. Like, that's what happened. Carl Jobs was like, yeah, fuck Billy Mitchell, I'm gonna fucking troll this guy. Get a load of this. I'm gonna say some lies. Because it could simply just be that Carl Jobs, like, either misunderstood something, or he just thought something that was incorrect or whatever. Like, it's just a big thing. Like, come on, a dog.
Imagine me trying to go after the thousands of people, right?
Oh my god, that name, hyperfixate equals autistic. Oof.
Here we go. Hyperfixate just did a $10 super chat. Billy Mitchell is making a career after suing people who have slandered him. You can do the same. I would start with detractors doxing already, like Alton Sider, who steals your content every day, and then the rest. I don't even know who that is. Okay, I literally don't.
He doesn't even know these people, and he wants to like go after them. That's, man, that's a really cool guy.
But you're right. There's literally an entire ecosystem. An ecosystem on YouTube
super crazy.
Based on defaming Darkside Phil on a daily basis. Like I said, the Clippers actually get insanely more views than I do. They steal the content. They will have clips of this podcast on their channels, which is illegal. You can't just clip someone's content before they have a chance to upload it themselves. That's actually against the law. You can't do it.
It's against the law.
You can't. Sorry. There's laws against it. If you waited for me to finish my broadcast, upload the videos myself, and then you clipped from the videos, that's allowed. You legally...
Did that Doom clip happen, like, the day of or not, right? But who cares? Like, dude, people get clipped all the time. Like, shut up.
Cannot put content out first as someone is doing it live. It's not allowed.
Then how does it happen on Twitch? You could clip people's game. Oh, but it stays on their channel, though. So, like, they can't take it from that channel and put it somewhere else. But who cares? Like, these are, like, 1-minute clips. And these are actually more defended by fair use than any other video that DSP could bitch about.
Wow. Right now, this work I'm doing is a copywritten work. As it's live broadcasting, it's protected by U.S. copyright law. If you take anything from it, you've broken the law. So anyone who does that, you're in the wrong and could be sued into fucking oblivion at any given moment.
But this is a petty argument. Like, dude, this is petty. Like if he did that, nobody would say, yeah, Phil's doing the right. They'd say, a YouTuber is so petty that he went after a channel who clipped him for a minute or whatever. Like, he would not be seen in a good light. If he thinks people hate him now for nonsense, if he were to do this, people would hate him more. And people would actually troll him more. They would say, this guy is a piece of shit. Look, he's going after Billy. Okay, it's too close to Billy Mitchell. Let's say that there's a Twitter account named Makima. Makima showed up, and she's like, I'm gonna clip Phil, and look at him suck at Street Fighter 6, or whatever. Or, Elden Ring Night Rain. And she clips that, and then DSP fucking, like, terminates her existence, sues her into oblivion. People are gonna say, wow, Makima, who had like 100 followers, is getting shut down by a YouTuber for clipping a part of his gameplay. And people are just gonna see this as a petty lawsuit where this guy just wants to have complete control over his image and he'll look like a bitch. Like, that's what this is gonna end up. So this is not a thing he should be wanting or be fantasizing about, because it just is not a good PR for him. Like, at all.
Moment. Exactly. They can do it because there's no repercussions, because YouTube doesn't care unless you file a lawsuit. Hence, you need to be affluent in order to actually have a legal defense against this kind of behavior. It's really fucked up.
Yeah, if YouTube enforced TOS, the last streamers would be done. Yeah, exactly. Like this.
Anyway, I guess Hyperfixate is technically our top super chatter today.
Oh no, technically. I love technically. It's not technical when it's actually in the top super chat. The last super chat was like $9.50. $10 is bigger than $9. He could.
No, they're not hiding behind fair use. That's what they say, but it's not fair use. You understand that? But it's literally.
It's not, but no, it is fair use because they're editing something that's not in the original material. Like, it's something different because it's not the full playthrough or whatever the fuck you upload.
Not fair use. It doesn't matter how many times they say it is. It's not fair use.
I love we're back to this. I love that we're back to this. Like, we have regressed back to everything is illegal. Whatever trolls do is wrong. When he also spends time saying, no, it's legal what they're doing. It's so clear. Like, I mean, go back when all this stuff was going on, right? All those years ago, it was very clear to me that DSP was only saying that because he was somewhat afraid of either being in the wrong or having to deal with the court battle, or just in general, just what's going on and where it may lead. So instead of just like going on about his day or whatever, like he's like, I gotta say this so like people can't be mad, because like he starts seeing people like really actively shitting on DSP. So he's like, well, it's illegal. What you guys do is legal. You guys are right to do this. I would never want to take down channels. Again, as I said, it's the paradox of like, when we're in peacetime, we shut in other countries. When we're in wartime, we're like, oh, you want peace, guys. I don't know why, guys, war is wrong. But it's like, well, you started this. What? We had peace and then you start this shit, buddy. Like, that's kind of what happens with this guy. He sits there and is like, when shit's going down, I would never do that. I think you guys can make videos. I just think you can't make money on it. But like, what you guys do is legal. And then like when nothing's going on, nobody should be on Phil for that. Yeah, you guys should be fucked. You guys should go to prison. Send them to jail. Send them to El Salvador. Like that's all this is.
They could easily be sued and lose, but they don't get sued. That's why they get away with it. YouTube should have a system where they have employees, actual humans, who are well-versed in the copyright law, where you can say...
I mean, and also just keep in mind, like, I'm only watching just the, like, segments of the podcast that I want to listen to, and then I move on. DSP watched the entirety of June the King's documentary on DSP. Like, the entirety of it. Now, of course, they say, well, I asked for permission. But what if June the King rescinds that permission? Because they could also do that. Like, this dude is so fucking ridiculous.
Hey, someone on your site is actually violating copyright law right now. Stop it. And they should look at the case and say, yeah, they are. Shut down the person doing it. Shut down their channel. And that'll be the end of it. But YouTube doesn't care. All they care about is their own asses. So the only way they'll ever take any kind of legal action against someone is if you sue them. If you sue them with a lawsuit, then they shut them down.
No, that's incorrect. Because when you go through that process, like, YouTube can, like, mediate it or whatever the fuck, but at the end of the day, like, I mean, it's just, if the company wants to take you down, the company would have to actually, like, proceed with the lawsuit. Like, DSP has talked about this in many rants ago. Like, just look it up, I guess.
So that's it. And I'm not rich, so I can't do that.
It's so annoying. We've regressed back to, like, everything the trolls do is illegal now. Like,
someone tipped $2 says, what's your biggest regret as a content creator? And what is something you don't have any regrets for?
Oh my god.
My biggest regret as a content creator, I would say...
Not streaming earlier.
Here's the thing.
Oh god.
There's things that I regret, and there's things that I'm sad have happened, but I can't control. Okay? I regret...
We didn't ask for that, dumb fuck! We asked about what do you regret? Oh, man.
Being so brazen, being such a shit talker, and essentially saying things that were irresponsible that I know probably hurt people. All right? when I was starting as a YouTuber, sadly, I didn't take it seriously.
I love that he's always a shitty person when he starts something. When I was in the FGC, when I started being in the FGC, I was a piece of shit. When I started being a YouTuber, I was a piece of shit. Like, and I love that this dude will sit there and was like, I didn't have a handbook. Nobody told me that I shouldn't be a piece of shit. He was a piece of shit during the FGC, and DSP didn't realize, maybe I shouldn't be a piece of shit. Maybe that's the problem. And that's why people may not like me, right?
Get seriously. I didn't realize that my words had weight and that things that I could say and do could actually hurt other people's feelings, reputations, etc. I didn't get it.
I love that he says, oh, I didn't know that my words hurt people's feelings. That's such a load of PR from him. Because if he truly cared about how people felt or whatever, then what the fuck was that when he was telling people to that they should fuck off, or oh, these people feel so entitled. Like, don't you think that maybe what you said is like, you can try to empathize a little bit more? He keeps trying to pretend as if he's an empathetic person, but he isn't. He's not. He just isn't. He's saying this because it's a PR thing. Like, yeah, I grew up. This is like when a kid is in trouble and the kid knows he's in trouble and he knows what the parent wants to hear to get out of trouble, but he doesn't care. Like, that's what this is. He knows what he did is wrong, but he doesn't care.
Get it. I thought the whole thing was a joke. I thought, why would anyone care about DSP making stupid, shitty videos on the internet, right? Now, I realize 17 years later, those times back in the day when I actually had clout and my words meant things, that I probably said and did things that were pretty harmful because I didn't have anyone to follow. No one had walked before me in those footsteps. I didn't have someone to learn from.
In those footsteps.
So I basically kind of fucked a lot of stuff up, Really, I did. Think about how I handled certain things.
But again, if he learned a lot, right, then why is he like doubling down on being really negative about just clips of him sucking at video games? That's what he called This Is How You Don't Play for the longest time. And now we're back. We're actually back to saying that's illegal. But now he's saying, well, no. But I guarantee he's going to say the fucking bullshit. Well, that's different. It's more malicious. But how does he know it's malicious? And again, it's still edited content that's not in the original source material, right? But like, this dude is sitting there saying like, oh, I learned so much. No, you fucking didn't. If you did, you wouldn't give a fuck about these clips that were saying, wow, DSP sucks at Doom. Like, you wouldn't be mad. You would be laughing about it, right? So much for learning.
In regards to relationships, my friendship with John Rambo and how that fell apart, the way I behaved during that time period, stuff like that,
Oh, what he was upset about during that was fucking stupid, by the way. Like, all he had to do was talk to him, and he didn't talk to him. Whatever.
Those are my regrets. It's sad that things turned out the way that they did because I didn't know what I was doing. Okay? Now I've learned.
So he needed someone to tell him. He needed someone to get in trouble with reading their friend's text message on stream so he knows that's wrong. He can't just think, maybe I shouldn't read my friend's text message on stream. Okay.
And in situations and experiences, I know, for example, if I'm ever going to get into a long-term situation with someone, I got to have a contract in place. Firmly agreeing to what...
Yeah, like getting married, right? That's a contract. But that's not the same. Like, you don't need to make a contract with friends. Like, you do when it's like, when something's about to take off or whatever the fuck, right? I mean, it's all situational, but DSP... It might be good advice for DSP because DSP he's not the coolest guy to be around. I'll put it that way.
To what everyone says is the right thing to do in the situation, so there can be no feelings of, sour grapes at the end of it, right?
Again, that's not what that phrase means.
Not appreciated.
I don't know. Out of all the things he butchers, sour grapes triggers me the most. He's used it so incorrectly. It is so insane. Like, people give him a hard time about the rainy day fund. This is my rainy day fun. The fucking sour grapes. It has persisted so long, and he's using it incorrectly so long.
Paid or underpaid or whatever it may be, right? That's my problem.
Oh
Back
my
then,
God.
I didn't get it. I thought this was all just a big joke and messing around. And you know, a lot of the times things got messed up because of that. Okay. So that's what probably one of my biggest regrets. One of the things that I'm saddest about, that is not a regret because it's not something that I've done, is the fact that people who ever try to associate with me or be friendly with me, a lot of the times get a lot of harassment from the trolls on the internet.
Jake James Lugo and Brian have stuck with him for so long. And DSP just threw Brian under the bus. Like, it's kind of funny that Brian, and you know, this is kind of bullshit because a lot of people I have stood by him, and he's not acknowledging that. Craig tried to stay by him for a while, couldn't apologize to him. Rich tried to, like, well, still, Rich is a bitch, so Rich will always be by DSP's side because he's his bitch at this point. It's a really weird dynamic that they have. Don't ask. But what else? Like, it's just bullshit. Like, so many people have, like, tried to help him. Like, Bunchek, like, talked about him, and Bunchek is still trucking on, doing videos.
The internet. Like, just because someone comes by my stream and says hello and contributes doesn't mean that someone should then now stalk them all over their socials, go to their YouTube channel and post up nasty comments,
well,
try to dox and harass them and their family members.
Like,
and that happens.
Like, I mean, I don't support going further beyond than what's, like, on Twitter or whatever, like, you know, but there are just some people, like, that super chats them, that you go to their YouTube channel or their Twitter, and it's just weird shit. Like, it's just, it's stuff that I would never think, like, would be out there like that, like, publicly, like fucking Derek. Like, he's still going on, he's still on Twitter, doing stuff on Twitter, he's still running amok, and it's something else. Like, it surprises me. Like, there are times where it's like, you know, people there's been discourse about Guilty Gear Strive players who, like, they wanted a mod for the newest character unit going to be barefoot, and they're like, oh wow, these guys are gooners, man. The Strive community can't say they're not gooners. They are gooners. And I'm just like, I mean, but that's like, you know, there's always, like, nude mods for games. Like, I mean, who fucking cares? Like, this is not, like, a big deal in the grand scheme of, like, what people goon out to. But that's, like, one thing. You go to Derek's Twitter and you're like, wow, actually, the people in the Strive community are actually tame as fuck than Derek. Derek goes wild. Like, you think people gooning about feet is like cringe? Get on Derek's level. I'll just put it that way.
Happens on the regular. I'm not kidding. It happens actually on the regular. So that's really messed up. But sadly, that's just nothing that I can really do. Sadly. I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
I'm not
you draw up Gunter with the
That's just the mental illness of people on
the
the internet.
They showed up. Did he send him a contract?
The truth is, that doesn't affect me at all. I want you to think about that. So someone just happens to come to my stream, hang out with me for a couple of weeks. They're a nice person. They contribute a bit. You go harass them in their own personal life. Okay?
Okay.
How exactly did you affect me?
How? Why?
You didn't. But you still did it. Because these people who do this messed up stuff on the internet, it's not that they're doing it because it makes sense. They're just nuts. They do it because they're so mentally incapacitated
oh my God.
from being a real human.
Oh,
they actually
man.
feel like, oh, I got a piece of worth or value because I ruined someone's day today. Because I did internet harassment today.
This is like thinking way too
special.
hard.
I'm serious. These people actually feel good when they hurt others. They're
thinking
broken inside.
They're broken
They're not
inside.
focused on doing good things for themselves. They're actually focused on hurting others and making sure others don't have good things for themselves. So it doesn't make any sense. And the thing is, I know this happens. I hear news stories about it every day, and I feel sad, but there's nothing I can do about that.
What happened?
Because I didn't create that situation,
I
nor can I do anything to solve it or fix it. That's just ill people on the internet.
It's funny, though. He had fucking streams on his little segments on his podcast say, guys, don't tell your media to your real life stuff all the time. He always had a PSA about that. And I was like, I don't know what to do, guys. I don't know what you
messed
should
up
do.
stuff, you know?
Well, I hope
Now,
Hyperfixate's okay.
What's something that I don't regret at all? Well, I guess the question is, like, what do you think it is?
What you don't regret? DSP, this is like a baby level question. Like, this is a level 1 question. Like, Philip, what don't you regret? You streamed for 17 years. There has to be something you don't regret. And this could be as simple as, I don't regret marrying my wife. I don't regret meeting Kat. I don't regret flying to Connecticut to get married. I don't regret deciding to stream on the internet. I don't regret dual streaming. I don't regret making my pre-stream a level 1 podcast. I don't regret doing the interviews that I did last year. Like, I mean, he could say whatever. I mean, he could literally. This is the most bullshit question. That dude softballed him. Like, here, Phil, here's free PR. Take it. And he's like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. What do you mean? What do you mean by what I don't regret? What do you guys think I don't regret? What?
That I would say there, because, I mean, what, really, like, I'm curious, like, what you're getting at with that question, that phrasing.
He's paranoia.
I don't regret being someone who does stuff differently. I don't regret.
Okay, there you go.
I've persevered.
Why did he take that part so... Like, he's saying as if a dude sneak dissed him. But it was just, what don't you regret? And he's taking it as if the dude was, like, asking him, like, a question that was a gotcha. He's read that thinking, is he expecting me to say my wife? Which is kind of a weird chain of thought. I mean, this is, completely a Theo theory, because imagine being afraid to say my wife.
Despite the fact that everyone tells me I do it the wrong way, yet I'm still here. Like, there's a lot of things I could say, but I don't really know what you're getting at with that. It's more about what do you regret, not what you...
Now I got a question. What does he think he's getting at? I want to know that. Like, what does he think he's getting at?
Despite the fact that everyone tells me I do it the wrong way, yet I'm still here. Like, there's a lot of things I could say, but I don't really know what you're getting at with that. It's more about what do you regret, not what you don't regret.
But that's a common question. Oh my god.
Oh, let's see.
Like, okay. I kind of wonder if you give him like a general job application interview question set, how he'd answer them. Some of them I know how, like, well, what's your strongest weakness? What's your weakness? Oh, my weakness is I care,
I got a $2 tip, and this person
about
says,
everyone.
Even if people mess with you for doing emulation, others will back you up and support you, saying
I understand.
that's bullshit. You get in trouble for that and defend your right to play emulated games on stream. No, they won't. I'm the
This is so funny because this has happened to Phil 1,000 times. There's so many times where you'll be like, guys, say what you will about Phil, but he's in the right here. People have done that for him for years, to the point where it oh my god, it happened during the Pro Jared shit. People are like, wow, guys, Phil got him. But, like, these are outsiders that don't know that Phil just said that out of pettiness and, like, out of just jumping in on the bandwagon. Everyone was like, oh, wow, Phil got a good tweet, guys. Wow, everyone clap for Phil, man. He's so cool. But it's, like, a nothing tweet. He has had people come to bat for him over a statement before. And these be sitting there like, that never happened. That would never happen. Get out of here. Like, do you know how many people that I would argue with that said in certain situations, guys, Theo, okay, Theo, I get DSP's a doo-doo head, but he's actually right about this. And it's like, I'm not doubting that he's right about the thing that like, let's say he did the emulation thing and he got in trouble for it and people are like, guys, Phil is actually the victim here. This is bullshit. I wouldn't argue that it's bullshit. I'd argue that DSP said it's illegal. He knew it was the crime. He openly stated he knew it was. He acknowledged it was, and he did it anyway. Like, that's where I'd be approaching with my shit if I were to shit on him for that. I would not give a fuck if he was right or that it's a shitty thing, because at the end of the day, like, it's one thing to do it and you're like, no, it's legal. Emulation's legal. Fuck this, and you're gonna stand by that till the day you die. But DSP is getting in bed with all these corporations saying it's illegal and saying it's illegal. Yeah, man, it's illegal. So if he were to do it, it would be going against his own principle of him saying it's illegal.
The meme, don't you get it? That's the point I'm making. I can't do the things everyone else does because even though what you're saying makes rational sense, they won't do it anyway. Because making fun of DSP, making Phil the butt of the joke, saying Phil's a horrible person, a horrible gamer, a horrible streamer, brings in views and gets money from a group of mentally ill morons.
This has happened in the past.
It's proven time and time again. It doesn't even...
See how he writes it off? Everything that happens in the past is gone. Just writes it off, doesn't acknowledge it, it's gone. Because he has recency by his brain. He thinks only recently. That's it. Once it's old news, that's old news. Who cares?
No matter who does it. It could be a Joe Nobody. They'll get views, attention, and support for hating on Darkside Phil. So even though you might say, hey, Phil's in the right, it's more profitable to say, hey, Phil's in the wrong. So that would never happen. I'm serious. It would not. and look, just take a look at Kino Casino. They tried to do it differently. They said, oh, look, literally everyone says Phil's always in the wrong because that's what's profitable. So for once, let's actually do opposite day. Let's say Phil's not that bad, Phil's in the right, this and there. And they tried it for a while, and at first it worked, and then within a few months it stopped working. So they went right into...
We're ignoring that when they did this, they were actively working with him and they defended him all the way through. Like, yeah, they were planning on, like, backstabbing him, but at the same time, like, DSP didn't really do anything to make them, like, look bad in it, right? Like, I don't know, whatever. Okay.
Right into the exact same fucking trope as everybody else.
But again, this again just shows that he took everything that PPP did was genuine. He did not think for a second that they were snaking him. He says that, like, always, like, facetiously, like, oh yeah, they were snaking me, whatever, man. I know the truth. I snaked them, man. Or whatever the fuck. It's really, like, inconsistent and nonsense coming from him. But, like, this just tells me that he has no belief at all that Kino Casino was duping him and was being disingenuous by saying that he's good. He said that the King thing was a joke, but he could never say why. He couldn't explain what the joke was. The other thing was like, he's saying that, like, oh, they did this, they tried to get money, and then they went to this when they realized they couldn't make money. But they were getting support regardless. Like, if anything, you were getting the most money during it, and now you're not getting the same amount of money from that.
And it works. You see? No.
Like, he's saying this, acting as if, like, they didn't shut him at all before that. Like, they decided, like, oh, we should be cool with him. Okay, fuck this guy. No, they were shitting on him before they decided to praise him.
One can actually be an individual when it comes to me. Because if they do, they can't be rich and make money off of losers. Because that's all it is. At the end of the day, the vast majority of people who hate on me are just there to milk this crowd. This people who apparently have money and are really dumb and are willing to just hand it over. The vast majority of people who crapped on me don't give a crap about me. You understand? They crap on me, but they don't actually care about me. They're only doing it to milk a very susceptible, a very gullible audience. I mean, I can't believe that side scrollers did it so much. Again and again and again. Every time they brought me up, the more...
They only brought him up a few times and then they stopped. And then he invited them back on his show. And recently, Craig posted a picture of a crown and people are, like, theorizing that it's gonna have to do something to do with DSP, which may or may not be the case, but we'll see.
Morons will go over there and throw the money. Dude, Side Scrollers doesn't give a fuck about me at all.
Okay.
As soon as Craig found a way to make different money from a different crowd.
But guess what? This is what DSP did. He did with the Kino Casino stuff. He got the money. Then he moved on and abandoned the audience that came with that, and then shamed them and shat on them and said that these people are fake fans and this and that. Like, that's what happened with DSP. He even does it with his own fans if you think about it. Like, he was willing to fucking throw Iron Chef Sakai into the wolves just for saying he liked Strangely Lex. That was worth sacrificing because he dared say he liked Strangely Lex's streams or whatever.
He doesn't bring me up anymore. Why does he need to? You see? But they don't understand. They're so simpleton-minded, they can't figure this out.
You know what's interesting, though? So it kind of shows that it could be something DSP related with that thing that Craig posted, because I remember that DSP really dug his heels into saying that, oh, these people are irrelevant. They're desperate for money. Look at them now. They're right-wing grifters. They're trying to suck on Melanie Mac. They're doing this. They're doing that. And then like he got Craig on his little interview, said fuck off, and said like see how he sucked. He's a piece of shit. And now he's like saying that, well, you notice that Craig can now make money and he doesn't need to like bring me up anymore. Like, that's kind of a positive spin to it, right? Like, he didn't say that he's a grifter or anything. Why does he suddenly have a slightly more positive outlook on Craig, right? Let me guess. He wants to be friends with Craig again. Dude, what if that's the marathon? Stuttering Craig marathon. We're gonna do a game with Stuttering Craig. No. All right.
I never literally said anything about some troll tipped me $1 and is trying to say that I didn't understand the Billy Mitchell call job situation. Yet everything they just said in their tip, I never literally said anything about on my stream.
I love that we're not even reading what the tip said, so we don't even know what he brought up, because he did bring up Billy Mitchell. And he did try to explain the court case in a very DSP way. Well, Carl Jobs, you see, he was trolling Billy Mitchell, and it was going to his audience. He lied about this, give me money. Lied about this, give me money, or whatever the fuck. That's not what happened, and the dude probably was like, no, that's not what happened, Phil. And he's like, well, I didn't even say anything about that. I didn't know what was going on, so why did you talk about it?
You're a fucking idiot. Keep your troll dollar, you fucking moron.
Also,
hilarious.
Does he refund him now? I don't know. It's weird because he sometimes say keep your dollar, or sometimes he'll just say I'll keep your dollar. Thanks for the money, stupid fuck.
What's up, Cracker Jacks? How you doing? That's highlightable in gameplay. I do my own clip myself and make clips. I'm great. Actually, come by and hang out and enjoy myself with games and have people have a great time, and people. I have to get through them and finish them before Night Rain tonight, you know?
Is there anything else?
Are you
Oh, email talk. Yeah, I think he was looking at email.
I hate my email.
Yep.
I really do. I hate it.
Well, who uses Hotmail? Oh my god, look at this typing. Look at this typing. Why use Hotmail? Use Gmail.
I'll click on one email and AI doesn't know diddly dick. All it does is it scours information from the internet that's already public. So chat, innately AI answers can't ever give you anything but
there is one thing that was kind of funny. Like I forgot, like they asked the AI, they asked Google AI that I think is powered by ChatGPT, like, is Marlon Brando in The Heat, like the movie? And the ChatGPT said like Marlon Brando was like, I think it's like they explained the biological use of heat, like the female dog's in heat or whatever, and they said Marlon Brando was in heat or something. It was really weird and funny. Like, it was either said that Marlon Brando couldn't be in heat because like in heat is like a term that describes like whatever. It was something weird. I saw a cursory on Twitter. It was kind of funny, but yeah, AI can't really give you a good answer.
Can't, because all it does is it's taking what people of the public are saying on the internet as the consensus fact, because a lot of people have said it. It doesn't mean it's right or true, so I don't think it could ever help me.
Well, I mean, he pretty much works like an AI, if you think about it. DSP does actually work like an AI. He takes a lot of things that other streamers do, and he makes an amalgamation.
Here we go. Someone just tipped $2, says, speaking of people that harass donators, once I sent a $1.50 super sticker, then I got harassed on my channel for a week. I feel like some of these people really have nothing better to do. It doesn't make me stop donating. I just keep it anonymous, and I support the GOAT of YouTube gaming streamers.
This is a really funny tip, because if the person who trolled him, right, were listening to the stream, or if anyone was paying attention, they could find out who this is. Wow, wow. Wow, this person's very smart.
Thank you. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, but
certainly
the person who trolled him would probably know who it is.
Like, a lot of people say, oh, anonymous tipper, and they act like it's not real. No, why do you think people anonymously tip? This is exactly why. Because when people do a public super chat, then these idiots go over to their channel and harass them. So a lot of people have stopped doing the super chats, and instead they anonymously tip. And it's a good reason that they do, That way they can't be harassed.
Okay. I mean, they could also, whatever. I mean, how much is the harassment on YouTube that they're doing, right? But then if you're a new account, it'll be like, oh, I don't know if this is real. I gotta ban you, okay? I don't know if you're real.
Supposed to be like GTA. I'm fascinated. Like, I'm fascinated. Will it be good? Will it be a train wreck? I think, but once I research, I am interested in Mind's Eye, yes. At first, I didn't even know what it was, but once I researched it, and I found out that it's a game made by former GTA devs that's supposed to be like GTA, I'm fascinated. Like, I'm fascinated. Will it be good? Will it be a train wreck? I think either way, it'll be something to try and fun to play. So I am going to try it out. We'll see if it's any good. It might be horrible, in which case we can laugh at it together, right?
He says this, but I have a feeling he's going to chicken out. Because there were games he brought up, like, oh, I'm curious to see how this turns out. Then the game came out. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to play it. It got bad reviews. I don't want to do it, man.
Will I actually watch How to Train Your Dragon? Well, I've never seen the actual movie, the original animated film.
Okay.
I guess I would have to do that first. I don't know.
But you don't have time.
It's Disney, right? So, is it Disney? Is How to Train Your Dragon Disney? I don't even know.
DreamWorks. I think Shrek. Alright, we're eating our fingers. Come on, say the line.
No, it's DreamWorks. Oh, DreamWorks is Shrek, right?
Yeah, DreamWorks is Shrek. Okay. They never made anything else, right? They're not.
I wonder what that would be on then.
You can always Google
like which service, which video, which
like Google does list like
on-demand video services.
Where to find movies? Like, oh, How to Train Your Dragon. They'll say you can watch it here, there, everywhere. Probably I want to say Paramount, but I doubt it. Probably like Netflix, Amazon. DVD.
Well, what do you mean by that? What? Cydia says, content creators who saw behind-the-scenes footage of Mind's Eye have called it out for being a rug-and-pull game. What do you mean by rug-and-pull? What are they pulling the rug out from?
That you think it's GTA, then it's like...
Yanks fan, yes. My wife and I did see the live-action Lion King, and we didn't really like it. We think the animated is much better.
Like, what is like a rug-and-pull game? Like, I am curious what that means. I don't know much about Mind's Eye. I just randomly saw people say, did this happen? I was like, what? I don't get it.
Yeah, I heard Battlefront 2 is making a comeback, but I never really liked it, even after they rebalanced Battlefront 2 to make it a non-card game. Remember, it was a card game for a while, which was the most bizarre choice.
Oh my god, I hate how he describes this, because you're listening to this and you think it's like an actual card game. All it is like, you get like skill cards or whatever that goes into your character. It was dumb, but the dumb part was the microtransactions.
Earn RNG cards or whatever. But anyway, I played both that and after they rebalanced it, but it didn't really resonate. The audience didn't really like it. If it were like, I guess you could get it on like probably Steam now for cheap or whatever. I bet you could, right? Charging $40 for Star Wars Battlefront 2. 2017.
Right.
What is going on?
Yeah, man. Who owns Star Wars? Get on it. Fix it.
Well, I said I would have maybe tried it, but I don't think I'm going to get it now with that price tag. That's ridiculous.
But he already owns it. He owns it on PlayStation. You don't need to buy it.
I've never played pickleball. No, I don't know what the sport really is. I've heard of it, but I don't even know like what it is.
Why are you talking about sports? I thought you're not a sports guy.
What's up, X Shooter? How are you today? Let's see here. More tips are coming in.
Did someone bring up the
$2 tip. ChatGPT is nice. You can give sympathetic advice and listens to how you substantiate your arguments if you push back on stuff.
Oh,
what?
Man.
It's not real. You're arguing with a synthetic. Forget it. Thanks for the $2 tip.
Oh my God,
he can't sympathize with you. It's not real.
Does he think it's an actual like robot or something? I mean, all AI is just a data center, and it just does dumb shit. It's a huge waste of electricity. Does a lot of damage to the environment. It sucks. These I don't know what to use at this point.
There's no. It doesn't have Google a personality to give you real sympathy. It's all simulated. Get it?
That's what I heard.
Oh my goodness.
But I heard some people are using
I got a $4 tip.
Believe it or not.
From Star Facts. What? Here's another idiot. Like, they're actually regurgitating a detractor meme that's not true.
It's not true.
So thank you, $4
That's
fool.
not true. Oh, so now he's counting this one. But the other one he didn't count. So what's the difference?
You're a fool.
What's the difference?
They actually repeated a detractor meme saying that it was true. It's not.
So he told one guy, keep your dollar. Oh, it's $4. He'll give the dollar back.
JDTV today, CHF super chat. I have no idea what the CHF is. This is Battlefront 2 is way cheaper on PS5 and there's no cheaters on there.
Huh? No cheaters?
What the hell is CHF?
Oh man, I think of that Weird Al Yankovic thing.
Swiss francs. So that's the equivalent of $2.42 as a super chat. Okay. Beef francs.
We're gonna move on from that. No cringe today.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, guys, last chance. Anyone have any last-minute topics you guys want to talk about before we get ready for Claire Obscure? Cydia says the CEO of Mind's Eye is quoted as saying anyone who says anything negative about his game is an influencer secretly paid off by Rockstar. Well, that's correct. That's absolutely correct. I cannot wait to receive my insanely huge bag of gold doubloons from Rockstar once I play Mind's Eye. I cannot wait.
He didn't understand what he said, though. He said that there are influencers who are being paid off by Rockstar to shit on Mind's Eye. And DSP is like, oh, I can't wait to be paid by Rockstar to play Mind's Eye. That's not what happened. Okay.
It's gonna be great.
Did you know what you read?
Oh my goodness.
God, my eyes are burning.
Apparently last time we played, I defeated. Like last I knew about him, he was still with Lolcow live stuff and doing really well. I don't know.
Oh, he's doing very well. Okay.
Content creation over the years. Despite facing a lot of criticism and challenges, he's remained consistent and continues to produce content regularly for his audience. That kind of persistence, especially in a competitive and often harsh online environment, is commendable. It's clear he has a loyal fan base who appreciate his passion for gaming and commentary.
What?
Like, I'm not saying dedication to content creation. Really, I don't know if I believe this. Someone tipped me $3 and said the following. I asked ChatGPT to say something nice about you. It said, Phil Burnell, known as DSP Gaming, has shown impressive dedication to content, often harsh. I'm good with that statement. Okay. I just don't believe that
this is why we should not use AI. You're gonna force it to answer dumb shit, and then all the water is gonna be used. Like, come on. That water could be used on something so much better. Like,
so quick reminder.
Having people drink it.
There is no podcast tomorrow. And I know some people will be upset at that because you like having a podcast every day and you like having a podcast at the end of the week. But tomorrow I'll be during the build. I'll be missed the big announcement.
Wait.
I will stream when I have tomorrow morning.
Oh, I thought you said tonight.
There will not be a podcast, but during the build up to the Night Rain stream, when I hang out with you guys for like 20 minutes.
Okay, I thought he said tonight, Thursday, but he was saying today. Okay. Let's see what the announcement was. There was something else I wanted to see, but we can do that later. Since we have the luxury of skipping around, we can do that. Okay, see,
until enough people show up.
Oh, I think this. I'm gonna assume it's Raw. Oh, now he has a super long shirt.
Until enough people show up.
So, like...
Applause as I have appeared. Look forward to checking out other class. So, 4 p.m. I'll take a break. Tap mute can be used. Can't use that when I'm playing the game. Because that looked new and that was not in 100% an asset flip.
Okay.
In a game. Gifted a sub. Holy... You will never believe this. I don't believe this, but it's real.
Oh my god, okay. You got a $400 tip.
Are you ready for this?
You
will never believe this.
$100 tip.
Wow. Lady, your pants firmly.
Okay.
Something crazier planned. I had no idea this was about to happen. I have just received a $1,600 tip. What?
Wow, shocker. He got that huge tip the same day he's going to do a big announcement. Let me guess. Guys, it's the Switch tip.
And it's from a longtime viewer and fan.
Vidar.
Who I know from over the years.
Vidar.
It's not anyone you guys know because this is someone who has been a friend of mine. Well, I say a friend, but you know what I mean. It's someone who's watched my content for many, many years. And actually, I've had some correspondence with over the years, on and off.
Oh, it's
a longtime supporter. One of this person, no exaggeration, every step of the way, when I've done a new initiative or did something new, they were one of the first people to jump in and support it, no matter what it was.
Okay.
Okay? Like, no.
It's definitely either Vidar Viking or it's Planet Jeff. One of those two.
Exaggerate. So this is actually it sent me an email the other day and I read it and responded all time. They just sent me this. They said, yes, this is legit. Thank you so much. They actually had sent me an email the other day and I read it and responded to it.
So he got an
I just wanted to say, thank you for reading my email the other day. This is a follow-up. Today is my 16th year following you. So here's $100 for each year, and thank you for all of the years of entertainment. Wow.
Oh man, that's so cringe.
Thank you. So very, very,
I do kind of feel
this is the biggest contribution.
Planet Jeff has given $1,000 before. Whatever.
Like this is I have $1 animation. This person. Which means today we're doing DS. It also means that we are 3 goals away. No, we're not shaving the beards. You lose, as they say. Thank you, Blue DSP, please do. 15 years you've been watching my stuff. Watching today. A wager on Kick. I'll let that run out.
Okay, are we gonna even talk about what he's gonna do? Dude, if we do this and there's no
10
announcement...
goals. Of course we are.
This is like...
Okay. All right, they're actually... The longtime fan is in the chat and says they want me to just put their first name up.
It's R2V3. Dude, I've never seen this person before. What? Okay.
I will do that.
Yeah, R2V33 is
Thomas.
My God, dude, I don't know what I was expecting. The previous podcast I did this video for, he was like, people harass my donators for no reason. I don't understand it, and that's why they do anonymous. But Thomas, who watched for so long, is like, put up my first name. But why not use your YouTube name? It's right there. It even says I'm happy for you to put my first name. Why not just, like, this doesn't make it. Dude, these people are not fighting the debt allegations at all. They're just, they are like proving the definition.
Thomas, with that ginormous tip, one of the biggest I've ever received. In fact, like I said, I'm pretty sure the biggest single contribution I ever got was, I think it was like a $2,100 tip.
Okay, that's such a cool thing, man. You give this dude $1,000 and he starts like, yeah, you know what, this other guy give me more money. Wow, you're so grateful, man.
Years ago, and someone dropped a giant Burger King time today. Or coming up will be a first-time event, the likes of which I have never done before. Marathon is DSP's
Oh man, I gotta eat my hat. I gotta eat my shoes. I gotta eat my figures. I gotta eat everything. Of course, it's the Switch 2. But you know what? On the other hand, he could also say, well, it's a general Mario. I don't get a Switch 2, so it could be Mario Kart in general. Semantics man at it again.
Rainbow Road Rush event.
This is not
that
really
is
that.
Right.
Oh my God.
To coincide.
I hate this dude so much now. Like, oh my God, it's so semantics. Because he has done a gaming marathon like this before. That was the challenge run of Mario Brothers. And he's like, this is new. I've never done this before.
With the launch of the Switch 2 later this week, I will be receiving a Switch 2. I will be live unboxing the Switch 2.
This dude, man. Nobody doesn't like Phil. Nobody doesn't like DSP. He tells, you're not gonna know if I have a Switch 2 until the day of. It is a week away. We now know a week in advance he's getting a Switch 2. So I mean, so it's so clear. Again, you know, I should have went along with the theory that it was a Switch 2, because honestly, DSP never stands by anything he says. Anything that's definitive like that, out of anger or whatever the fuck, is never serious. Like he could eat like a rat shit, and he'd be like, I'll never eat rat shit again. And then next week, guys, I'm eating rat shit. Isn't that cool?
2. I'll be hooking up the Switch 2, testing it.
Oh my God! So there's gonna be a Rainbow Road Rush event. This is a terrible name. It's a bad name, just off the bat. Rainbow Road Rush event. This fucking, like, what do they call it? DSP's Rainbow Road Rush Bonanza Extravaganza Event Marathon Party. At that point, like, just say DSP's Rainbow Road Party. I don't know, just fucking do something else with your life. But this dude, this is so lame. It's so lame. And we're gonna waste the event to set up the Switch 2. Let's think about this logistically, okay? Let's think about this logistically, right? So let's say that in DSP fashion, the Switch 2, like, he fucks it up, like, Kat stepped on it, or she sat on it, or Jasper puked on it, and it doesn't work. This whole event is gonna be a waste of time. So why not? And then on top of that, this is the other thing. This is getting the toxic side out of me. I'm getting toxic after more and more. He used to do unboxings for free, and he was going to unbox the Switch 2 after a paid event. Oh, but I guess he could argue, well, no, I was still unboxing it. It just wouldn't be a marathon. But, you know, arguably, wouldn't you want to do this for free because it's like a hype moment? And why would you want to lock it behind a paywall? But we have now paywall with all marathons again. Remember when you used to do marathons for free?
I'll be playing Mario Kart World on release day, and we're going to be doing a marathon event that day where my goal is to get through all of the basic stages of the game and unlock the new version of Rainbow Road.
Well,
it is an actual challenge event.
Dude, oh my god, I've seen so many E3 conferences. I can't get it out of my mind. This dude runs his fucking streams as an E3 press conference. But instead of like the cringe presentations being fun and like funny, it's DSP. Like this is like a nightmare like event. A nightmare thing.
Where I'm challenging myself to do so well in the game over the course of the day.
Okay, so is he gonna play on like 150cc or whatever the fuck? Is he gonna do that? If he doesn't do that, then there's no point in saying this.
Get to see the final stage of the game. So it's going to be a coinciding event of the release of a new console, unboxing it, hooking it up live together, and playing through all the stages of the game. But at the same time, it's the same rules as a standard marathon. For every $100 that I receive, I'm going to be taking a shot. So I have to play Mario Kart World on release day, inebriated, trying to unlock all the stages and get to Rainbow Road. How cool is that?
Man.
Never have I ever done a challenge event like this before. Never have I been drinking playing Mario Kart. And never have we done a launch day marathon like this. So it's actually 3 firsts in one. How cool is that?
No, it's not cool. It's lame.
All right. Rainbow Road Rush. Rainbow Road
this is
Rush.
Gonna be the most
this
you'll be
coming
playing, then
Thursday,
it's gonna be thrown into the closet.
June 5th. All right.
Or a cat will play it.
So what do you guys think? That was the wrong button. What do you guys think? Hit me with your questions. If anyone has questions about it.
It'd be funny if everyone was like,
I'm willing to answer them. Hit 3 more goals by Thursday. A member on YouTube celebrating their 1 month as a member, though. Because there's what's going on, Tarian? Classes in well, I'll be wearing a Mario Kart themed outfit that day. Well, I don't have a full outfit, but I do have various Nintendo shirts and things that I will probably be wearing and switching during the course of the day.
He has a Yoshi hat. Will he wear that? No, because he's gonna die. If he does that, he'll die.
Much like with my birthday marathon, how I said, oh, it's my birthday with the 100 goals. Remember, if this works like the other Mario Kart games, you have to play through all the circuits, okay? And you have to get to the end and unlock the final stages. Like, usually they're locked, but behind the previous circuits. So I'm going to, first circuit, probably like Big Mario, and pick the standard cart. And then as I play more, you unlock, right?
Lame! He's gonna just do boring shit. I'm gonna pick Mario. Oh my god, this game has cool-ass characters like the fucking cow. He's like, I'm gonna pick Mario. Yeah, you ruined the hype in one sentence. Good job, dumb fuck.
Right, you unlock the next cart. So that's what I'm gonna do. Pick another character, swap. And so you're gonna see big variety that day. You're gonna see a bunch of characters, a bunch of carts. You're gonna see all the tracks unlocked and played at least once, and culminating with the end of the day. Hopefully, we get Rainbow Road.
Now, we'll never play this game again.
There's a few X factors in here that I need to explain.
Oh boy,
okay?
X factor.
What's the first X factor? Well, here's the truth. No one knows when their Switch 2s are arriving. Okay? Currently, only very few people have.
My god. Dude. I got a big brain idea, right? This is what I would have come up with. I would have, I don't know, just done this marathon for free. So that way people don't have to, so you don't have to like freak out about hitting goals in time, and then say for the $100 goal or whatever the fuck, he could like be like, oh, I'll add alcohol to it or something, or it will just be like or another challenge run of Mario Kart or something. Like, maybe what he should have done is at least get the Switch 2 before we get hyped for something. What if the delivery man like breaks it? Whoa, what if the delivery man like steals it? Dude, guys, I don't know if you're aware of this. Seattle has super duper crime rates. He thinks he's gonna get it. What if the crime gets it? Dude, people are running their cars into stores to get it. Who's to say that they're not gonna track down UPS and steal the Switch 2? That could happen. Seattle's crime ridden. It's Mad Max land there.
Have the Switch 2. And those people either got it through underhanded means or they got lucky and it got mailed to them early from their pre-orders. I don't have mine yet. Mine is guaranteed to be here on Thursday, but I don't know when. No one does. Some people might get it early in the morning. Some people might not get it to the end of the day. I'm hoping that's not the case with me. In fact, to be honest, I hope I get lucky and I hope they send it early because if you're not aware, Nintendo has locked the Switch 2 until launch day. Anyone who gets it early cannot actually play a game on it because it requires a day one patch to actually operate properly, and no one can get the patch yet. People who got their Switch 2s early hooked it up, and it said, nope, can't get it until it's actually hooked up. So you can't play it yet anyway, okay? So, I need to see when it arrives. When it arrives, we're going to live unbox it, hook it up, set it up, get it charged and working. I've actually, that's another thing. I've already bought a couple peripherals for it, and they're already here. So we're going to actually be live testing a couple of peripherals for the Switch 2 as well on that day.
Oh my god.
Then once we get through the initial setup, the peripherals, the charging.
Dude, if it's the wheel, dude, that would be embarrassing because he shat on that thing. Like day one, he shat on it. And oh man. You know what? I'm also gonna throw in the conspiracy that it was a dent that gifted him this. You're telling me that this dude bought this and all these accessories? No, he didn't.
Then we're gonna get Mario Kart World and we're gonna start playing it. And the challenge is to get through it all that day. Beat every stage once, beat all the circuits once, use various characters, carts. Of course, like I said, for every $100 of support, I'll be drinking. So it's gonna be crazy. I'm gonna be buzzed while we're trying to play Mario Kart.
You get high
interesting as hell. I don't know how it's gonna go.
Man.
Pretty cool. So that's gonna be awesome. I can't wait. This Thursday is gonna be super epic. But the real problem is I don't know when I'm gonna get it. If it shows up in the morning, this is like amazing. What if it doesn't show up till 4 in the afternoon? There's nothing I can do about that. So if it shows up late, we have to wait. We'll hang out. We'll do other stuff. We'll probably play other games.
So we're going to do. Oh my god, this marathon is fucked. This is not a good marathon. So we're gonna wait. Let's say it shows up at 4. We're gonna do a half-assed marathon and then say that's that. Wow. Wow, I hope that happens. I hope it happens.
You know, we'll still be doing a marathon. We'll just be waiting for it to arrive.
Wow.
And then I'm going to do my damnedest to get through it and get to Rainbow Road. But if we can't get it, we can't get it. And that
is so bad. That is so bad. And he wanted to get these goals hit for that in time for the launch, and it may not even come early enough. Oh man, that is nasty. Nasty work from the guy. Oh.
That's okay. If it needs to carry over, we can do that. Like, let's say it doesn't show up till 4 p.m. We don't actually get to start playing Mario Kart till like 5:30. Well, then we'll play it for 3-4 hours, and then we'll just play it again the next day. Okay?
Yeah, but will the next day also have the drinking rules, and will that go a little bit longer, or are we just going to have it just play the next day as a normal stream? Because I really don't believe that he's gonna be willing to do shots the next day. I'm just gonna say it. So it's kind of fucked up anyway.
Okay. Exactly. I don't drive a FedEx truck. I don't know how UPS delivers. I don't know who's even delivering this thing. So I have no clue what's going to happen. You know, I don't know when it's showing up.
You know what? This guy was paranoid about like trolls, like sending him to like the authorities about emulating. A troll gun to GameStop, or no, not GameStop, Comcast, all this stuff. Why is he paranoid? What if a troll gets control of FedEx? What if the driver is a detractor? Oh no, I didn't mean to rewind.
Okay, I'm gonna play American Truck Simulator, and I think we're doing that. So maybe I could, if it comes quick enough, maybe while we're waiting for Mario Kart to show up, we could be doing Truck Sim with the wheel. Yeah, that's true too. That means shame Amazon at all. You had to get it from somewhere else. Yeah, Amazon decided to not do. Oh yeah, Dab Hands, Amazon did not do Switch 2 at all. Yeah. Dab Hands says, shame it's not Amazon because that's right next to you. Yeah, Amazon decided to not do anything with Switch 2 consoles at all.
He go back to the PS5. This dude was freaking the fuck out over Amazon. He's like, where's my PS5? Where's my PS5? I gave it money. Where's it? Where's the PS5? It's outside. It was supposed to come today. Where is it? It was like a dude that was like jonesing on fucking drugs.
They stayed completely away. So no one on Amazon, you couldn't get it through Amazon at all. You had to get it from somewhere else. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, Thomas just gifted 50 members.
I love the dented these dents so much now, man. He has a YouTube channel that people would probably say whatever about, and DSP, like, the dude said, DSP, use my real name. And now we're just saying, dude, Thomas did this. Look at Thomas go.
Memberships on YouTube.
But remember, guys, the trolls are the fucked up ones. Like at some point, it kind of comes full circle to the point where it's back to DSP being the problem here.
50 memberships on YouTube. That's another $150 bucks of support.
I can't believe this. I can't believe this, dude. I'm more like fascinated. The fact that
Thomas, you're amazing.
Thomas gave him
Thank you so
$1,600, then told him in YouTube chat, use my real name, use my first name.
$150. Let's do the math.
And then we just call him Thomas, even with his YouTube channel. At this point, it's like the YouTube name is more personal than his actual name. I mean, I guess luckily Thomas didn't say, put my full name up there.
98 goals hit.
Oh, man.
And we're close to 99.
If
you can believe
it. Dude is something else.
Awesome. Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you, Thomas.
That, we just hit another goal. Wow.
Wow.
Thank you to everyone, particularly, obviously.
I love we did not play the goal hit at all for the 1,000, but we did it for this. We did it for this. Not for when he got the $1,000.
For attending, watching, engaging, and supporting with my content for so long. Thank you to Thomas for being such a long-time fan and supporting me in such a huge way today and always.
I just love this dude. Tells us every day the trolls are fucked up, they're gonna harass you. And he gave no fucks in putting up his first name because Thomas said so. Like, Phil, I thought you said that your trolls are fucked up and they're gonna harass him now. Oh man, damn, you've been watching longer than me too? Stubborn English people, what?
Over the years, seriously. And thank you to everyone. Be absolutely amazing. We showcased fan 84 who did it just to be like the Wii U. It should have been the Switch 2 with the TU. It's Switch 2 TOO. That's what they should have named it, the Switch TOO. Just to be like the Wii U. It should have been the Switch 2.
What? That doesn't make whatever. Okay, cool.
Well, to say that this is one of the most supportive days, got as much support as I did. He says, will I get any other games besides Mario Kart World? Well, here's the thing. There's nothing else out.
No! Nintendo's only putting out one game. Why is he playing other games? He doesn't play other games on Nintendo, stupid. Fuck off.
Oh, there's literally nothing else coming out for it besides ports and, games we already played. I already played Zelda. I'm not playing Zelda again. I already played Cyberpunk. I'm not playing Cyberpunk again. I'm not buying Street Fighter 6 for the 4th time to play it on an inferior version that probably will have tons of lag. So no. We're just going to be playing Mario Kart World to start. If any new games come out, you know, because here's the thing, you got Summer Game Fest and all that. Maybe they'll actually announce some games that'll be coming out. Then yeah. But if not, then the next game I'll be playing on there would be Donkey Kong Bonanza in July, right? Yeah. Donkey Kong Bonanza in July. And a USA with a $2 makes a balloon animal, you know, sure, so I don't. We're doing the DSP tries it today because I want gameplay, and then we could do. We'll see. We're gonna come back and we're gonna play. It was Night Rain. Enjoy some quick highlight clips. Here, I'll turn my cameras off, and I'll be back in a few minutes, guys.
Jasper.
That was good timing. The moment you opened his mouth, the PlayStation like menu played. All right.
To it, and we've seen the game.
I do want to bring this up. Let's watch this. Let's watch this little segment.
We've seen all the enemies and bosses. That's wild to me. Like, how could it play
and
like
then we'll
Sekiro?
end here.
Neither Elden Ring nor Dark Souls play like Sekiro, so I'm literally not upset.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
XM Beats to the $2 super chat. He says, "Would you ever forgive PPP and Warski?" I'm not, like, I'm literally not upset.
DSP did say that if PvP apologized, he was looking for an apology from them, and now they're like, well, if they do, would you forgive them if they did? And he's like, I'm not angry. Now, I also want people to remember that the DSP was told to be upset at PvP for making fun of his wife, so he did that, and was like, oh, fuck you, whatever, blah, blah. He was like really upset about it, right? Or at least he wanted us to believe that. And now he's telling us that he's not upset. So he truly does not give a fuck that PPP made fun of Cat multiple times. He truly didn't care.
At all. About the situation. I'm good.
Yeah, he's good. They only made fun of his wife, that's fine.
Upset. There's nothing.
But if they made fun of my gameplay, that's fucked up.
Nothing there to forgive. I'm good.
You know, nothing to forgive.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know, they only made fun of my wife that I claimed to be upset about, but, you know, they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything. They did nothing wrong.
Okay.
Okay, man. So there you go. There's that. That's where we're gonna end it here. Otherwise this video will be too long. This is actually pretty long anyways. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye. Alright, yeah. I did my doodle side fill, so you saw that, but so... Oh, there you go. Bye.